Are you Lin Xingyu? I am Liu Shiyun. Can you come to the Modu Women and Children's Hospital? Liu Shiyun. Is not she the newly graduated campus belle from the finance department? I was completely confused. I could not understand why the former finance department belle would be calling me and asking me to go to a women and children's hospital. That Liu Shiyun. A women and children's hospital. Is not that a place for having babies? What do you want from me? On the other end, Liu Shiyun was holding back her pain. 1. I'm about to give birth. You are the father of the babies, and they need your signature. Hearing this, I actually laughed out loud. You, a former campus belle of the finance department, why are you looking for me about having a baby? You have got the wrong guy. I have no interest in being your fallback guy. With that, I hung up the phone. I did not take this matter to heart at all, but continued to look at the job postings. If I do not find a job soon, my parents will force me to pack my bags and go home. Not long after, another unfamiliar call came in. I checked and saw it was not the previous number. After a moment's thought, I answered it. A stern voice quickly came from the other side. Are you Lin Xingyu? Your girlfriend is giving birth at the Women and Children's Hospital. We are just waiting for you to sign. Hurry up. I was stunned upon hearing this. No way. I thought to myself, are scammers this direct nowadays? What? Get over here immediately. Hurry and arrange the delivery room. The hospital happens to have a vacancy, and inpatient care needs to be arranged too. Before I could ask anything, the call was disconnected. I was a bit bewildered by this call. Judging by the background noise, it really sounded like a hospital. I suppose it was not a scam after all. Check-in system is loading. Please proceed to Modu Women and Children's Hospital to activate the system. The call from the hospital had already made me somewhat curious to go, but I did not expect a system to suddenly appear in the process. Now I really had no choice but to go. No matter what was going on with that Liu Shiyun, or what the actual situation was, it seemed this Women and Children's Hospital was a place I truly had to visit. Thinking of this, I hailed a taxi by the roadside, and I stated my destination to the driver. When the driver heard it was the Women and Children's Hospital, he gave me a somewhat surprised look. This young man looked extremely young, and exceptionally handsome too, to have a kid at such a young age. Soon, the car arrived at the Women and Children's Hospital. After paying the fare, I stood at the hospital entrance. The system's voice chimed in again. Congratulations to the host for arriving at Modu Women and Children's Hospital. System activating. System activated and checked in successfully. Congratulations to the host for obtaining a reward of 200,000 yuan. As I walked forward, listening to the voice of the system, a happy smile spread across my face. I was currently short of money, and unexpectedly, the system provided timely help. Before I even reached the delivery room, I saw a female doctor in a white coat hurrying towards me. You are Lin Xingyu. You are just in time. Come sign this quickly. But I am Lin Xingyu. Sign. I have absolutely no relationship with that Liu Shiyun. We really are not close. As soon as these words came out, the female doctor and the passers-by around us instantly glared at me with unfriendly eyes. The girl is literally about to give birth right now, and you have the nerve to say you are not close. For a moment, whether it was the female doctor or the surrounding pedestrians, they all looked at me like a scumbag who abandons his wife and children. The female doctor was utterly speechless. Well, she said you are the baby's father, and she even asked me to tell you. About 10 months ago at the Winter Hotel. Speaking of the Winter Hotel, I suddenly remembered that back then, because something had happened, I got drunk outside with a few good friends who had just graduated with me. On my way home alone, I encountered a beautiful woman crying by the roadside. My last memory was going over to comfort her a bit, but who would have thought that while comforting her, when I woke up the next day, I was actually in the Winter Hotel. Could that beautiful woman have been Liu Shiyun? Sigh. This is how young people are nowadays, day in and day out, living their lives in utter confusion. Tell me about it. A daughter of a relative of mine also met a scumbag, and then, sigh, let us not talk about it, it is too sad. I remember now. I am the father of the babies. Seeing the surrounding people talking like this, I hastily spoke up. Hearing this, the female doctor's expression turned extremely poor. One moment you say they are not yours, the next you say they are. Are they yours or not? They are mine, they are really mine. I glanced at the name badge hanging on the female doctor, saw her name on it, and quickly apologized sincerely. Whatever, since they are yours, then hurry up and sign. Seeing my apologetic face, the female doctor's attitude softened a bit. After I signed, the female doctor nodded in satisfaction. Later, when the babies are born, go downstairs and pay the fees. With that, the doctor turned and left. I watched the female doctor enter the delivery room, learning that the babies Liu Shiyun was carrying were indeed mine. As a first-time father, I was both nervous and full of anticipation. Life is truly dramatic like this. Just a moment ago, I was still worrying about finding a job. But the next moment, I acquired a system. Before long, a nurse's voice rang out, who is Liu Shiyun's family member. Hearing this, I quickly walked over. "Hello nurse, I am Liu Shiyun's family." The nurse looked me up and down and said, "This is the older brother, for catties and six tails, born at 1426. This is the younger sister, for catties and four tails, born at 1427. The two little ones were reddish, skinny and tiny, with wrinkled little facial features. At first glance, they looked a bit like little monkeys. They did not have that fair, tender, and adorable look right out of the womb. This was my first time being a father, and also my first time seeing my own children. I wanted to reach out and gently stroke the babies, but they were just born, and I worried that my strength might easily hurt them. So for a moment, I looked somewhat at a loss for what to do. How is the mother?" I suddenly realized Liu Shiyun had not come out yet, and hastily peeked into the delivery room. While asking the nurse smiled gently, "She will be out in a moment." Just as she spoke, she was wheeled out. Lying on the hospital bed, Liu Shiyun's brows were tightly knit. Sweat had soaked her forehead, and her incredibly beautiful face was completely pale at this moment. When Liu Shiyun saw me, she opened her mouth, wanting to say something. Seeing that she wanted to speak, I quickly stepped forward and said gently, "Rest first. Whatever you want to say can wait until later." Liu Shiyun gave me a complex look, then closed her eyes, and fell into a deep sleep on the hospital bed. I understood that to give birth to the babies, Liu Shiyun had exerted a tremendous amount of effort. Right now, she should be allowed to rest well. Anything else could wait until she was well rested. Excuse me, do I need to buy anything for the babies and their mother?" Combined with line 179 per 180. I naturally did not understand any of this, so I had to seek help from the nurse beside me. Hearing my words, the nurse also knew that this father was a first-timer and did not know much, so she smiled and explained, "Sir, later you need to buy some medical underpads to lay down for the baby's mother, and then, in a little while, you will also need to take the babies for checkups and their vaccinations." "All right, nurse sister, thank you." After buying the items, I returned to Liu Shiyun's ward. But how was I supposed to change this thing? Furthermore, Liu Shiyun was resting now. For a moment I was stumped, just as I was agonizing over this. A few minutes later, Liu Shiyun woke up. When she saw me sitting by her hospital bed, she opened her mouth to speak. Seeing her awake, a look of joy instantly appeared on my face. Noticing her lips were dry from giving birth earlier, I quickly asked out of concern, "Do you want some water?" "Yes, thank you." After taking the water I handed her, she took a few sips to moisten her throat. About what happened at the winter hotel. I did not realize I was pregnant until 3 months later. Then why did you decide to keep them? If you had not reached me today, and I had not come over, a girl suddenly getting pregnant, and deciding to give birth to the children. To make such a decision, I could not bring myself to believe that it was out of her feelings for me. Could it be because of her love for the babies? Hearing this, Liu Shiyun lowered her head, looked at the cup in her hands, and said in a somewhat weak tone, "The doctor said, it is already very difficult for me to conceive. If I did not keep them, I probably would not ever be able to have children in the future." Listening to Liu Shiyun's words, I finally understood. So that was what happened. For a girl, this is quite a serious matter. As for why I contacted you, it is because the hospital here required a family member's signature. If possible, I would not have wanted to bother you either. After all, I chose to have the babies myself. It has nothing to do with you. If you do not want to take responsibility, I do not blame you. After all, this is not your fault. I raised an eyebrow and looked at Liu Shiyun. Then have you thought about what it would be like raising the kids all by yourself? In an instant, Liu Shiyun's expression became incredibly somber. She pursed her lips, as if making some kind of resolution. "I know, but so what? They are my children. Since they are born, no matter what happens in the future, I am also their mother. If you do not want to take responsibility, I am still very grateful you were willing to come to the hospital to sign. Now you can go." Having said that, Liu Shiyun turned her face away and stopped looking at me. I knew she was just putting up a tough front. These two kids are mine as well. I am their father. So, if you agree, I think the two of us can raise them together. Hearing these words, Liu Shiyun suddenly turned her head, eyes wide open. looking at me as if she could not quite believe it. Do not you know what raising 2 children means? I looked at Liu Shiyun puzzled, seemingly not understanding why she would ask such a question, knowing clearly that I have children, yet ignoring and abandoning them. I could never do such a thing. Liu Shiyun was left, so shocked by my words that she was speechless. Alright, you just gave birth. Your body is still weak, so rest for now. Leave the matters concerning the babies to me. Liu Shiyun looked at me doubtfully. Do you know how to take care of babies? Although I do not, there are so many families in the hospital who also just had babies. I can learn, and I can ask them for advice. I understood that during Liu Shiyun's pregnancy, she must have been alone. Otherwise, at the hospital today, why did not I see her parents? This also meant she probably had not told her parents, which was why she contacted me today. For a woman, the time of pregnancy and childbirth is an incredibly painful ordeal. Therefore, I also understood just how much Liu Shiyun had suffered for these 2 children. I gazed at Liu Shiyun, and seeing that she had fallen asleep again, I took a deep breath, my eyes growing resolute. Do not worry, from now on, I will take care of you 3. At that moment, my phone started vibrating. I quickly picked it up to look, and found it was a call from my mom. I stepped out of the ward and answered the call. What I said next left my mom completely, absolutely shocked. Mom, you are going to be a grandma. On the other end, my mom was left so shocked by my words that she did not respond for a long time. Xingyu, you are not joking with mom, are you? I knew my mom definitely would not believe it when she heard this. After all, my parents both knew I did not have a girlfriend. And now suddenly telling her she is a grandma, anyone would be skeptical. Thinking of this, I grinned. It is true, you really are a grandma now. Xingyu, tell mom, is some girl making you the fallback guy? You are my son, you absolutely cannot do something like being a fallback guy. Mom, it is not like you do not know your son's personality. How could I possibly be a fallback guy? I can't explain it clearly in a few words over the phone. Right now your daughter-in-law is hospitalized and I need to take care of her. I also do not have any experience taking care of babies. So I was thinking, Mom, if you are free, could you come over and help me out? So the babies are really yours. That means I have little grandchildren now. Give Mom the address. Mom will drive over right away. Mom, I am at the Women and Children's Health Center. Call me when you get here. I will come down to pick you up. Okay, I will be there in about half an hour. My mom hung up the phone on her end. Thinking of what I just said, she started packing things up. Since her son was not lying to her, that meant she really had grandchildren now. At this moment, my mom was incredibly excited. Just then my dad also returned home, seeing his wife packing things, and looking like she was about to head out. He could not help but ask curiously, Wife, where are you going? I am going over to our son's place. Regarding the fact that I had kids, Mom did not plan to tell Dad just yet, because her baby's father's personality could be said to be completely stubborn. She would tell him after she went over herself and figured out the whole story. No, it is the middle of the day, why are you running over there? Did something happen to Xingyu? Sai, what could happen to Xingyu? I am just going over to see him. But why are you bringing food when you go see him? Is our son so broke out there that he can't even afford meals? We told the kid to come back and stay comfortably at home, but he refused. Now that he has no money, he knows to contact his parents. Old man, what nonsense are you imagining? I will go take a look first, and once everything is confirmed, I might just bring back a surprise for you. Alright, I am done packing. Eat by yourself at home. Back at the hospital, not long after, Liu Shiyun opened her eyes, seeing my gaze fixed entirely on her. Her cheeks could not help but flush red. I sat by the hospital bed looking at Liu Shiyun. You're awake. Are you hungry? Liu Shiyun looked at me, smiled awkwardly. I am not too hungry right now. The two of us fell into a moment of silence. Then we looked at each other, opened our mouths, just about to say something. You go first. Coming back to my senses, I embarrassedly scratched my head to cover up the awkwardness. I want to go to the washroom, but I have no strength in my body. So, could you help me and help me up? After saying this, Liu Shiyun looked at me shyly. Of course, come, be careful. Hearing this, I quickly nodded, stood up and supported Liu Shiyun. Seeing that my movements were extremely gentle, Liu Shiyun suddenly felt a warm feeling in her heart. I can go in by myself. After a while, the washroom door opened, and Liu Shiyun walked out. Seeing her come out, I hurried forward to support her. I want to see the babies first. The two of us went over to the crib, looking inside the crib, at the two little ones still fast asleep. A radiant glow appeared on Liu Shiyun's face. Liu Shiyun took the opportunity to glance at me, and noticed that the way I looked at the babies was so incredibly gentle. The expression a person reveals inadvertently is the most genuine, which meant I really, truly liked these two children. It seemed the words I had just spoken earlier must be true. You have no idea. When I took the kids for their checkups earlier, everyone said that these two babies will definitely be as handsome as me in the future. As handsome as you. Own is a boy and Own is a girl. The boy being handsome like you, I can understand. But the girl will definitely be as beautiful as me. Ah yes. When the son grows up, he will look like his dad. And when the daughter grows up, she will definitely look like her mom. When we went for the checkups just now, hearing those parents praise our two little ones, I could not be happier. My mom called just now. I told my mom about the babies. Hearing this, Liu Shiyun instantly became anxious, looking somewhat restless. Her small hands gripped the blanket, and a worried expression appeared on her face. So your parents know about the babies? My mom knows. I am not sure if she told my dad yet. When my mom heard the news, she did not believe it either. Then I asked my mom to come over and help out. Liu Shiyun was stunned for a moment. So you are saying your mom agreed? Yes, she agreed and is on her way. Do not worry, my mom has a great personality. She was extremely happy when she found out she had grandchildren. After my mom gets here, I will explain things to her. Rest assured, my mom is very reasonable. Afraid she might overthink it, I hurriedly explained. Seeing my flustered appearance, Liu Shiyun suddenly pursed her lips and smiled, her expression relaxing a bit. Do not worry, when your mother gets here, I will explain it to her myself. After all, it is my issue too. Do not worry, I have got everything covered. I looked at Liu Shiyun, my eyes full of tenderness. How about we think of names for the babies first? What do you think? I suddenly suggested. The babies' names, sure. Speaking of naming the children, the two naturally found a topic of conversation. In the hospital room, a man and a woman were discussing what names they should pick for the babies. Half an hour later, my phone suddenly rang. I picked it up and saw it was my mom calling. Mom, are you here? Son, Mom just arrived at the Women and Children's Health Center. Which room are you in? Mom will come up right away. The baby's mother needs you to take care of her. Just tell Mom the room number. Mom will come up by herself. All right then, we are in room 7 on the 2nd floor. You will see us as soon as you come in. After hanging up, I looked at Liu Shiyun and spoke gently. It is my mom, she is about to come up. Although I had already comforted Liu Shiyun earlier, but hearing that my mom was coming up right now, Liu Shiyun was still extremely nervous. Her small hands fiddled with her bangs, and she straightened her clothes a bit. She wanted to present her best side to my mom. At this moment, outside the ward, the sound of high heels echoed from the hallway. Her heart grew tense, and her breathing quickened. Hearing the knock on the door, Liu Shiyun's heart leaped to her throat. I saw how nervous she was, gently patted her small hand, and signaled with my eyes that she did not need to be so nervous. Only then did I get up, walk to the ward door, and open it. Son, Mom is here. This was exactly my mom, Zhao Manhwa. No, you're here. Why did you bring so many things? Seeing the numerous bags my mom was carrying, I was a bit speechless. You kid, your wife has given birth. If Mom had not called today, I would not even know. Where is your wife? Quickly, take Mom to see her. Mom, come in. I closed the door and led my mom over to Liu Shiyun. Seeing my mom arrive, Liu Shiyun struggled, wanting to get out of the hospital bed, but she had lost too much strength and had not fully recovered yet. Oh, sweet girl, do not move around. You just gave birth and your body has not recovered yet. Just lie down properly in bed. Seeing Liu Shiyun trying to get out of bed, Mom quickly stepped forward to support her. Hello, Auntie. It was Liu Shiyun's first time meeting the parents, and she did not know what to say. She just gave a polite greeting. Hello to you too, sweet girl. What is your name? Auntie, my name is Liu Shiyun. Liu Shiyun looked incredibly well behaved and sensible at this moment. This name is very nice, sounds beautiful. Auntie heard you gave birth to the babies, so from home, I brought you some chicken soup. You probably have not eaten anything since giving birth, right? For a mother who just gave birth, this chicken soup is just right for you to try. Silly boy, why are you just standing there? Come over and help. Seeing me standing to the side, my mom could not help but shoot me a glare. Being scolded by my mom like this, I hastily walked over and adjusted the hospital bed so that Liu Shiyun could sit leaning against the headboard. From the side, my mom took out a bowl of chicken soup from the thermos and readied a spoon. Then she scooped up a spoonful of chicken soup. Come, Shiyun, try Auntie's cooking. Seeing my mom being so enthusiastic, Liu Shiyun was startled. She quickly waved her hands. Auntie, I can do it myself. I can do it myself. You silly girl, what is the big deal? Back when Auntie gave birth, I could not move either. It was Xingyu's grandma who took care of me. So just sit there like a good girl. Come on, be a good girl and taste Auntie's cooking. As she spoke, Mom brought the spoonful of chicken soup right in front of Liu Shiyun. Liu Shiyun looked at me helplessly, then looked at my mom, and had no choice but to open her mouth, drinking the chicken soup from the spoon. Auntie, your cooking is amazing. This chicken soup is very fragrant. At this moment, Liu Shiyun truly felt warmed by my mom's care. Since you like it, drink a bit more. Auntie speaks from experience. After having babies, you need to replenish your nutrition. During your postpartum confinement, you must properly nourish yourself. Otherwise, health problems can easily arise. Okay, Auntie, I will remember that. Liu Shiyun did not even know how long it had been since she felt this kind of care from an elder. You better remember this too. No matter what, you cannot mistreat your wife. Mom looked at me with a dissatisfied face, terrified that I would not take good care of Liu Shiyun. Mom, I remember, do not worry. I definitely won't mistreat Shiyun. Auntie, please do not blame him either. Actually, this whole situation is also because of my own reasons. If the hospital today had not needed the baby's father to sign, I would not have bothered Xingyu. Seeing my mom's attitude towards me was a bit harsh. Liu Shiyun hurriedly explained. They are mother and son, and no matter what, she was still considered an outsider right now. She could not let her own issues cause disharmony in their family. Xingyu said on the phone that it could not be explained clearly in a few words. At the time when I heard Xingyu say I was a grandma, you have no idea how surprised I was. Auntie, actually, this is what happened. Liu Shiyun recounted how everything occurred in full detail to both my mom and me. It turned out that time, her parents were fighting at home, threatening to get a divorce. Liu Shiyun did not want her parents to divorce, so she chimed in with a few words, but her father scolded her instead. Then she left the house crying. Later, outside she ran into me. With my comforting, she gradually felt a bit better, but because I had been drinking, I suddenly passed out drunk beside her. Having no choice, she took me to a hotel first. Then my mother and I. After hearing Liu Shiyun's explanation, we instantly understood the course of events. Sigh, every family has its own difficulties. Child, you have really suffered. After listening to Liu Shiyun's explanation, my mom felt even more heartache for this girl. She guessed the news of this child's pregnancy had not even been told to her own parents. If that was the case, she must have suffered so much during this pregnancy. What my mom said next left Liu Shiyun completely stunned on the spot. Mom found out that the campus belle had twins, a boy and a girl, for me. She could not stop grinning from ear to ear. She even declared that she would take charge and have us get our marriage certificate. This almost scared the campus belle, Liu Shiyun, out of her wits. Auntie, I have not even thought about this matter yet. Besides, you have not asked for Xingyu's opinion either. What opinion could he possibly have? Do not worry, sweet girl. My son is a pretty good person. As his mother, I also believe he can take good care of you. Standing to the side, I was afraid Liu Shiyun would feel awkward, so I hastily changed the subject. Mom, does Dad know you came over? Your dad knows I came over here, but regarding the babies and Shiyun, I have not told him yet. You also know your dad's personality. That old guy is completely stubborn, but now that I know what happened, I can tell him when I get back. Both of you are being parents for the first time. You guys do not have any experience in the process of taking care of children, so I plan to stay here for these next few days. Shiyun has not finished this chicken soup yet. I will leave the rest to you. I am going to look at my little grandchildren. With that, Mom handed the bowl to me, and then got up and went over to the babies. I smiled helplessly. My mom's personality is just like that. I hope you do not mind. It is fine. Even though I just met Auntie, I know Auntie is a very good person. Liu Shiyun waved her hands and quickly said, there is still some chicken soup left. Come, finish drinking it first. Saying that, I scooped a spoonful and brought it over to Liu Shiyun. Thank you. Liu Shiyun drank the chicken soup. Everything was extremely harmonious. Xingyu, are these two babies a boy and a girl? Mom looked at the two adorable little ones. Her face filled with an extremely kind and affectionate expression. These were the little grandchildren of their family. Mom, they are a boy and a girl. The older brother is 4 catties and 6 tails, born at 14:26 in the afternoon. The younger sister is 4 catties and 4 tails, born at 14:27 in the afternoon. A boy and a girl is wonderful. Our Lin family is truly blessed. Hearing that they were a boy and a girl, the smile on Mom's face grew even brighter. She thought to herself, wait until she goes back, She will tell old Lin this joyous news, so he can be happy too. Moreover, with the good looks of her son and daughter-in-law, in the future, these two children will definitely grow up to be extremely handsome and incredibly beautiful. Have you thought of names yet? Not yet. Shiyun and I were just thinking about names. The babies were just born, there is no rush for names. Then for the babies' names, you two young folks can take your time to think about it. Once you have decided on the names, remember to tell Mom. Not long after, Liu Shiyun drank all the chicken soup in the bowl. Mom also brought some food this time. Do you want to eat a little? Seeing Liu Shiyun finish the chicken soup, I asked softly. Liu Shiyun shook her head. I am pretty full from this chicken soup. I am not hungry for now. Alright then. I smiled faintly, and placed the bowl on the small table by the hospital bed. Just then, one of the little ones in the crib opened its eyes. When it saw Mom, it suddenly started crying loudly. Oh, little baby, do not cry, do not cry, oh, I am Grandma. Mom saw that in the crib, one of the little ones actually woke up at this moment, and even opened its eyes and started crying loudly. She quickly and carefully picked the baby up from the crib. Her movements were extremely gentle. Both Liu Shiyun and I also heard the baby's cries. I quickly stood up and walked over. Seeing the baby held in my mother's arms, a gentle expression appeared on my face. I spoke softly. The little one is awake. I am Daddy. Come say Daddy. You silly kid, the baby was just born and can't talk yet? How could they possibly call you Daddy? Mom was left, not knowing whether to laugh or cry at my words. I am just too excited looking at the baby. Mom, I want to hold the baby too. A newborn baby like this has a very soft body. You must be extra careful when holding the baby. When you are holding the baby, you need to learn to use your own wrists to support the baby. On the hospital bed, Liu Shiyun listened to Mom's words and was also learning attentively. We were also raising children for the first time, both being novice parents. Naturally, we had zero experience in taking care of children. Did you remember clearly what Mom said? Mom looked at me with a serious face, terrified that I would not even know how to hold a baby, and would make a fool of myself. Mom, do not worry, I have remembered it all clearly. As the baby's father, I will definitely learn with all my heart. Alright then, I am handing the baby to you. You give it a try. You must be absolutely careful. Mom handed the baby to me, and still anxiously reminded me during the process. Following what my mother said, I gently held the baby in my arms, looking at her dark, round eyes. She was incredibly adorable. For a moment I felt my own heart melting completely. Baby, I am Daddy. Let us go. Daddy will take you to Mommy. As I spoke, I talked to the baby in my arms, while carrying her over to Liu Shiyun. To be honest, since the babies were born, Liu Shiyun had not held them once. Now, as I held the baby and came before her, a smile appeared on her face. When she saw the baby coming over, Liu Shiyun seemed to be filled with strength all over and quickly reached out her hands. She said gently, baby, come quick, let Mommy hold you. Seeing Liu Shiyun's face full of expectation, I carefully handed the baby to her. Liu Shiyun took the baby and gently held the baby in her arms. Looking at the little one in her arms, an affectionate smile appeared on her face. The little one in Mommy's arms, as if smelling Mommy's scent, started whining and crying softly. Oh, why are you crying? Do not cry, Mommy is right here. The baby is probably hungry. Shiyun, do you have milk now? Newborn babies instinctively know how to eat. Mom was very experienced in taking care of children. Seeing the baby suddenly start crying, she explained. Hearing this, Liu Shiyun was taken aback for a moment. Yes, I do. Then she looked at me with embarrassment. Shiyun is feeding the baby right now. You have not eaten yet, right? Inside the thermos? Mom brought some food for you too. Go eat first. Mom, I thought that now you have a daughter-in-law. You had forgotten about your son. I smiled mischievously. I got up, grabbed the thermos, sat on the other side, and got ready to eat. After eating, remember to go buy daily necessities for the babies. Also, you need to buy clothes and such that the babies need to wear. In addition, you can also buy a crib. Being single is own thing. But once you have a wife and children, then just for the children alone, a large sum of expenses is required. However, she knew that I had not found a job yet and did not have much money. So she planned that after I finished eating, she would have me step out with her and then transfer some to me. She did not do it in front of Liu Shiyun, asking things like whether I still had money myself. Not only would that strip me of my pride as a man, but it would also make Liu Shiyun overthink. Originally, regarding this matter, Liu Shiyun had not planned to trouble her son to come to the hospital, but the hospital needed the baby's father to sign. Liu Shiyun also did not know whether I actually had money or not. If she knew I did not have money, she would definitely overthink it. When you go to the maternity and baby store, if you do not know how to buy things, you can ask the staff will know. Mom won't go with you. Mom will stay here and keep Shiyun and the baby's company. Okay mom, I will remember it all. Do not worry, leave this matter to me. As a man, if I could not even handle this little thing well, then how could I be the baby's father? After I finished eating, I got ready to head out. The moment I stepped out the door, Mom chased after me. Mom, what is wrong? Mom knows you have not found a job yet and do not have much money. Now with 2 more children, money will definitely be a bit tight. So Mom will transfer 20,000 yuan to you first. When you have used almost all of it, just tell Mom. Mom will transfer more to you. Mom, it is fine, no need. I still have some money myself. You kid, why are you still trying to act tough now? Do not I know your situation? Seeing that I actually refused, Mom glared at me, took out her phone, and swiftly transferred 20,000 to me. Now that you have kids and a wife, no matter what, you cannot mistreat them. Shiyun is a good girl. Treat her well. When she is discharged, get the marriage certificate sorted out as soon as possible. Mom, regarding the marriage certificate, we first have to ask about Liu Shiyun's side of things. If she is not willing to marry me, there is nothing I can do. I smiled helplessly. Being able to marry such a beautiful wife, I was indeed very happy, but I also had to see if she agreed before deciding. Later, Mom will go help you feel out the situation. Alright, you go buy things for the babies first. Watching me leave, Mom finally turned and entered the ward. In the ward, the little Own in Liu Shiyun's arms was already full. Liu Shiyun was currently coaxing the baby to sleep. Mom was afraid she would overthink, so she gave a brief explanation. Shiyun, has the baby fallen asleep? Auntie, the baby fell asleep after eating. That is good. Come, let Auntie put the baby back into the crib first. Liu Shiyun handed the baby to Mom. After Mom placed the baby into the crib, she returned to the hospital bed and sat down. Only then did she speak. Shiyun, what do you think of my son? Hearing this, Liu Shiyun was slightly taken aback. She did not understand why my mom was asking this. After pondering for a moment, she spoke. Auntie, although I have only interacted with your son twice, his character is actually quite good. Moreover, the way he looks at the babies is extremely gentle. The expression a person reveals won't lie. So Xingyu is a good person. My son, well, although he can be a bit clueless normally, his attitude towards people is still very good. Usually when he comes home, he is also very filial to us. You see, now you guys have children too. And in a while, the babies will need to be registered on a household register. So I think, how about you guys get your marriage certificate when the time comes? Mom had already decided that Liu Shiyun was the daughter-in-law of our Lin family. Even if Liu Shiyun disagreed with this matter, she still wanted to try her best to get Liu Shiyun to agree. Of course, if Liu Shiyun absolutely refused, then she could not force her either. I had also told her about this matter at the very beginning, saying that I was willing to raise these 2 children together. At that time, she was actually worried that, even though I had agreed, what if my parents' side disagreed, what would happen then? But now my mother had come over and was treating her very well. Now that this matter was brought up again, it made her heart sway a little. What about Xingyu's side? Do not worry. For my son to be able to marry such a beautiful wife like you, that is the accumulated virtue of our entire Lin family. Actually, I just asked him earlier. Xingyu also agrees to this matter. He is just worried that you won't agree. So as his mother, I came to ask about the situation. You give me a definite answer first. Let me know what you think. When the time comes, I will have my son come ask you. Liu Shiyun blushed and thought about it. I have no objections. At this moment, I returned to the ward with a huge pile of supplies from the maternity store, completely unaware that Liu Shiyun had agreed to get a marriage certificate with me. Seeing that I had bought so many things, Liu Shiyun's eyes looked a bit dazed. That must have cost a lot of money, right? It is fine, it did not cost much. I waved my hand, not telling Liu Shiyun how much I actually spent. Xingyu, it is already afternoon. Give Mom the keys to your rented apartment. Mom will go to your place to prepare dinner. Mom, my rented apartment. It does not have any groceries or anything. If you go over, you will still have to go to the market to buy them. How about I go back and cook? Forget it, leave this kind of thing to Mom. You stay here and keep Shiyun and the babies good company. You young folks have plenty of topics to talk about here. Mom won't disturb you. Although Liu Shiyun was willing to get a marriage certificate with her son, the 2 of them had technically only met twice. At this time, it was natural for them to cultivate their feelings first. Alright then. I handed the keys to my apartment to my mom. Mom knew where I live, so she did not need to ask for the address. Shiyun, Andy's leaving now, rest well. If you need anything, just tell Xingyu to do it. If he dares not to listen, just tell Auntie. Auntie will teach him a lesson. Auntie, it is fine, I do not really need anything. But please drive safely on your way, Auntie. Okay, Andy is leaving now. You brat, pay more attention. If Shiyun needs any help, you have to be proactive. After saying that, Mom left the room. After Mom left, the room became a bit quiet. I glanced at Liu Shiyun and hesitated for a moment. I plan that after you are discharged, I will go rent a bigger apartment. When the time comes, we can live together. That way, it will be easier for me to take care of the babies. And take care of you too. Is not this just? Hearing these words, Liu Shiyun's expression instantly became a bit complicated. Now that this kind of thing had finally happened to her, she suddenly became nervous. Liu Shiyun fiddled with the beautiful hair in front of her eyes with her fingers. And for a moment, she did not know how to answer me. Disagree, but I am the baby's father. And I had also said at the very beginning that I was willing to raise the two babies together with her. I spoke again. I understand. If it were not for the babies, the two of us would not have met again, nor would our paths have crossed again. But regarding the babies, if you take care of them all by yourself, generally speaking, it won't be convenient. If I am there too, then at night, I can also help share the burden. Do not worry. Although I am not some perfect gentleman, I won't take advantage of your vulnerable state. Seeing me speak so earnestly, Liu Shiyun suddenly seemed to relax a bit. She parted her lips slightly and said, "All right, I will listen to you." Seeing her agree, my face lit up with joy. All right then. Rest well these next few days. Whatever you want to eat, just tell me. If there is anything you need help with, just tell me that too. I understand. However, Liu Shiyun still felt a bit anxious in her heart. She could see that my mother was genuinely very good to her. She could also see that I sincerely wanted to be with her, to raise these two children together. But in the future, when her own parents came looking for her, what should she do then? Regarding her suddenly giving birth to two children, her parents would definitely be absolutely furious. At that time, they would definitely make things difficult for my family. Therefore, the better Mom and I treated her, the more anxious and worried she became. At this moment, the babies in the crib started whining and whimpering. As novice parents, Liu Shiyun and I instantly became nervous. I quickly rushed over to the babies. Looking at the babies in the crib, they moved slightly, and their little faces seemed somewhat uncomfortable. What is going on? Did not the doctor just check the babies' bodies earlier and say they were very healthy? Lin Xingyu, what is wrong with the babies? The babies seem a bit uncomfortable. Do not panic, I will go out and find a nurse. After saying that, I pushed the door open and walked out. Soon I brought a nurse back with me. The nurse came to the crib, took a look at the babies, and then smiled. "Mr. Your babies are not sick. They just pooped. So it is because they pooped that they are like this." Hearing the nurse's words, I breathed a sigh of relief. As long as the babies are not sick, that is fine. It is fine. As novice parents, there are naturally many things you do not understand about babies. If you have any questions, you can come find us. Let me show you how to change the baby's diapers. That would be wonderful. Now that Mom had gone back to prepare dinner, and Liu Shiyun and I naturally knew nothing about these things, having a nurse by our side to guide us would make it much easier. Under the nurse's step-by-step guidance, I was sweating profusely from nervousness. Do I just lift it like this? Will it hurt the baby? On the hospital bed, although Liu Shiyun was also very worried, she was amused by my silly and clumsy appearance. Combined with above, after finishing changing the little baby's diapers, I finally felt a heavy burden lifted off my shoulders. Being a dad for the first time really did not feel that simple. Lin Xingyu, thank you. You have worked hard. Her body was still quite weak right now, changing the baby's diapers and such. She did not have much strength yet, so she could only trouble me. The babies are my children too. Why say thank you? There is no need for that. I gave Liu Shiyun a gentle smile, then grabbed the plastic bag and left the room. Babies, this daddy of yours seems to be a really good guy. Liu Shiyun looked at the babies in the crib and suddenly muttered to herself. Not long after, I returned to the ward from outside. As soon as I entered the room, perhaps the babies knew daddy was back. They immediately started crying in the crib. Why are the babies crying again? Hearing the babies' cries, Liu Shiyun became worried again. Earlier the babies cried because they pooped. What is the situation this time? I do not understand the situation either. I checked the babies and did not find that they had pooped. No, the babies did not poop. I actually think they must be hungry. I carried the two babies over to their mother. After getting their milk, they finally stopped fussing. Before long, they fell asleep peacefully. At this time, Mom also came over with the cooked food. Xingyu, I have finished cooking the food. I left a portion for you at the rented apartment. Go back, eat, rest early, and come replace me later tonight. Got it? Then I looked at Liu Shiyun again. Shiyun, I am going back to eat first. I will come back later to take care of you. Liu Shiyun felt warm in her heart at this moment and could not help but say, be careful on your way back. I am perfectly fine. You should rest well too. You have been so busy today, you must be exhausted. After saying goodbye to Mom and Liu Shiyun, I returned to the apartment. Right now, as I was eating, my phone received a message. I saw it was from my time at school. My good friend and roommate, Ding Weihua. Xingyu, have you found a job yet? Why not come over to my side? I recently found a job at a listed company. Besides, there are quite a lot of girls here. If you are interested, you can come over for an interview tomorrow. They're still hiring right now. Truly a good roommate. Finding a good job and still not forgetting me, his bro. I do not plan on looking for a job for the time being. I have kids now, and need to take care of them recently. Not looking for a job anymore. Could it be that your parents asked you to go back and inherit the family business? No, wait, what do you mean you have kids? What is the situation? Bro, when did you get married? You actually have kids. I just chatted with you a few days ago. At that time, you were still looking for a job. It has only been a few days since we last saw each other, and you actually have kids now. The other party is not making you the fallback guy, are they? Bro, you absolutely cannot do this kind of fallback guy stuff. No, they really are my kids. That time last year when we went out drinking, and then after we parted ways. You still remember that incident, right? You are not trying to tell me that after we parted ways back then, you met a girl, and then played out a short drama scene. Yeah, it was that time. I met a beautiful woman by the roadside. Then I comforted her a bit, and some things happened afterwards. This morning, I got the news that she was giving birth. The hospital called me to go over. As for the kids, they are indeed mine. Bro, congratulations first of all. I did not expect that because of that incident, you actually have kids now. So when are you getting married? You must invite me to attend your wedding. I have not even met the girl's parents yet. As for the wedding, I am still not sure when it will be held. Alright then, when you get married, remember to let me know. I will come to attend your wedding. Are the babies boys or girls? What is the girl's name? I did not hide anything and quickly replied. Twins, a boy and a girl. The girl is Liu Shiyun. Twins, you lucky dog, you are really blessed. Wait, the Liu Shiyun you mentioned. Is she the former campus belle of the finance department? Liu Shiyun. Bro, you are amazing. The campus belle of the finance department is actually your wife. He did not expect that after just a few days of not seeing his good friend, not only did he have kids, but his wife was actually the former campus belle of the finance department. If this matter were known by their other classmates, they would definitely all be absolutely shocked. Alright, I spent the whole day at the hospital taking care of the babies, and have not rested yet. I'm going to get some rest. Alright then, you rest first. Another day when we are free, let us get together. I set an alarm, placed my phone to the side, and closed my eyes, planning to rest for a while. Late at night, just as it hit midnight, the alarm on the phone by my bed rang. I opened my eyes, turned off the alarm, tidied up briefly, and then headed out to the hospital. I soon arrived at the hospital. In front of the ward, I knocked on the door. Mom opened the door, saw her son had arrived, and quickly shushed me. Shiyun and the babies are all asleep. Be a bit quieter, do not disturb their rest. I looked at my somewhat exhausted mother. Okay Mom, thank you for your hard work. What hard work? It is you on the other hand. You are the father of 2 children now, so you must fulfill your responsibilities as a dad. Then I will head back now. I will come over early in the morning to relieve you. Hey Mom, drive safely on the road. I handed the apartment keys to my mother. After watching her leave, I then entered the ward. Time passed quickly. In the blink of an eye, it had been 3 days since Liu Shiyun was hospitalized. Auntie, Lin Xingyu, I want to be discharged. During these 3 days, Mom and I had shown her meticulous care and concern, which she saw clearly. But staying in the hospital for these 3 days without taking a shower made her feel very uncomfortable. And now, she felt that her body had pretty much recovered, so she wanted to be discharged. Thus, she spoke up, I feel like my body has mostly recovered, and I can walk on my own now too. Since you want to be discharged, that is fine. Let us have the doctor do a checkup first. If there are no problems, then you can be discharged. Shiyun, what do you think? Seeing that Mom did not stop her from being discharged so soon, Liu Shiyun smiled faintly and Xingyu, go talk to the doctor. Have the doctor examine Shiyun. If there are no issues, let us get discharged. Alright then, I will go call the doctor over. I found a female doctor and explained the situation to her. The female doctor explained it to me. Generally, after giving birth, staying in the hospital for 3 days is just about enough to be discharged. Later, she just needed an examination, and if there were no issues, the discharge procedures could be processed. After that, I ran back and forth between the inpatient department and the outpatient department. When the examination results came out, I handed the results to the female doctor. Once she confirmed there were no problems, the discharge procedures were handled. I returned to the ward and told Liu Shiyun the news that she could be discharged. Hearing this outcome made Liu Shiyun extremely happy. Being able to be discharged meant that, after going back, she could finally take a nice, fragrant shower. Can you walk on your own? If not, I will carry you up. Making Liu Shiyun climb the stairs right after she was discharged. I was a bit worried about her health. Hearing that I wanted to carry her up, Liu Shiyun's cheeks instantly turned red. She hastily waved her hands. I can walk by myself. It is fine. This is an old neighborhood, and I live alone. So I did not rent a very large apartment. It is a single room. Just make do with it for now. Tomorrow, I will go look for a 2-bedroom apartment. Liu Shiyun shook her head. It is fine. I am not picky. After a while, we finally arrived at the apartment where I lived. Entering the room, my mom and I carried the babies into the bedroom. We put the babies down first, then opened the double crib. Shiyun was just discharged. She does not have her clothes or anything here. See if you can find some time to go to the place where Shiyun lived, and bring her clothes and stuff over. For now, you guys need to live together. So tomorrow, go find a bigger apartment. If that really does not work out, after mom goes back, I will discuss it with your dad to buy a house for you. What do you think? Mom, I have money myself. As for the apartment, I plan to discuss it with Shiyun and decide then. Alright then, you handle your own affairs. If you need anything, just tell mom. After mom settled the babies, she went over to her daughter-in-law, Liu Shiyun. Are you very disappointed? Hearing my mom ask this, Liu Shiyun naturally knew what she was talking about. To be honest, she did feel a bit of a letdown in her heart. The place I lived naturally could not compare to the residential complex she lived in. However, although she felt a bit of a letdown, she was not one of those materialistic women. Besides, my mom and I, for the past 3 days, had shown her meticulous care, which she saw clearly. She smiled faintly. It is fine. Although our family does a little small business, Xingyu, this kid, since college, has rarely asked us for money. As a person, he is quite frugal. But do not worry, now that he has a wife and kids, I believe he will change this personality trait. Xingyu will definitely give you everything he has. Xingyu also said he will go look for a bigger apartment tomorrow. When the time comes, you can terminate the lease on your apartment. Living together like this, it will be more convenient for Xingyu to take care of you and the babies. Although this is an old neighborhood, the environment is actually quite peaceful. There is a food market not far away. Normally, whatever you want to eat, just tell Xingyu. This kid's cooking skills are actually pretty great. I plan to head back tonight. Xingyu's dad is home alone. I am a bit worried about that old guy. If Xingyu bullies you, just tell Auntie. Auntie will teach him a lesson for you. Okay, Annie. Although the place they lived in now was a bit simple, my mom genuinely cared about her. I had also finished organizing the luggage on my end. Watching my mother chatting with Liu Shiyun, I spoke up. Mom, I'm going out to buy some groceries to prepare dinner. With that, I took my keys and headed out. About 10 minutes later, I returned home carrying the groceries. Then I went straight to the kitchen and voluntarily started cooking. Liu Shiyun looked at the babies, and then looked at me busy in the kitchen. Although this apartment was very small, this kind of life seemed pretty nice too. More than an hour later, I brought out the cooked dishes. Everyone can taste my cooking. Mom opened the folding wooden table, so I could place the dishes on it. 2 meat dishes, 2 vegetable dishes, and own soup. Having stayed in the hospital for 3 days, Liu Shiyun could now eat rice and the like. I scooped a bowl of rice and handed it to Mom. Then I scooped another bowl of rice and handed it to Liu Shiyun. Finally, I scooped a bowl of rice for myself. Let us eat. Liu Shiyun nodded, held her bowl, picked up her chopsticks, and picked up a piece of a vegetable dish. After tasting it, she found that the flavor of the dish was quite good. It is very delicious. Son, your cooking skills are pretty good. Mom also tasted it, and found that my cooking skills were much better than before. This surprised her greatly. Could it be that because he has a wife and kids, his cooking skills improved too? Mom, if you guys like it, then eat some more, huh? Of course, I would not tell them that the system had rewarded me with God-level culinary skills a few days ago. The family happily enjoyed dinner together. After washing the dishes, Mom suggested, how about we go to Shiyun's place first, and help Shiyun bring some clothes and stuff over. I will go too. Liu Shiyun thought for a moment and spoke up. I am afraid you won't be able to find the place, and it would not be very convenient for you to pack some of my clothes. I shook my head, somewhat worried about her health. You just got back. Mom will stay home with you. I can just go. It is fine. You won't know which clothes to bring. I will go along with you. Alright then, I will help watch the babies for you guys. You two go together. Here are the car keys. Drive safely on the road. Go early and come back early. Naturally, I had a driver's license too. It was just that I had not bought a car. Now that Mom had given me the car keys, it would be much more convenient to go over and bring the luggage back. About 10 minutes later, the car arrived at the destination. After finding a parking space, Liu Shiyun and I got out of the car. I live on the 5th floor. This complex has an elevator. We can take the elevator up. Tomorrow I will also look for a 2-bedroom apartment in a building with an elevator. As soon as we entered the door, I saw that the apartment was a own bedroom, and it was furnished much better than my place. Combined with line 136 per 137, you sit first. I will go to the bedroom to organize and pack my clothes. With that, Liu Shiyun went into the room to pack her clothes herself. Looking at the bedroom, which was essentially decorated in pink, I smiled faintly. I could not tell that Liu Shiyun liked pink so much. At this moment, the system's voice rang out. Congratulations to the host for completing the check-in. Reward, own Mercedes-Benz SUV. The vehicle is already parked in the parking lot of the neighborhood where the host resides. The car keys are in the host's pocket. Hearing the voice from the system, I was overjoyed. I had just considered buying a car today, and unexpectedly, the system directly rewarded me with a car. And it was even a large SUV model. This way, traveling would be much more convenient in the future. Tomorrow, after I find an apartment, I can find an excuse to tell Liu Shiyun. After a while, Liu Shiyun came out of the bedroom. She was still holding clothes in her hands. I plan to take a shower. A shower? You are still in your postpartum confinement period. Can you take a shower? Hearing this, my heart tightened with worry. If something went wrong, my mom definitely would not let me off the hook. It is fine, it should be okay. It is not like I am showering with cold water. Regarding me taking a shower, I hope you won't tell Auntie. I am afraid Auntie will scold me. Looking at Liu Shiyun's pleading eyes, I truly had no other choice. Alright, I got it, I won't tell my mom. About half an hour passed. She, who was already beautiful to begin with, looked completely refreshed after washing up. Her whole person seemed as if she had transcended mortality. I just quietly looked at Liu Shiyun like this. This is just too beautiful, right? As expected of the great campus belle. If I really married her, how wonderful would that be? Seeing my gaze staring straight at her, Liu Shiyun did not know why, but she felt a sense of joy. Her tone even became somewhat gentle. What is wrong? You are really beautiful. I scratched my head and blurted it out instantly. What I mean is, anyway, you really are very beautiful. Seeing me looking a bit flustered, Liu Shiyun burst into a giggle. Then she went over to the dressing table, picked up a hairdryer, and planned to dry her hair. Let me help you. I suddenly stood up and took the hairdryer from Liu Shiyun's hands. After turning it on, I felt that it was warm air. While running my fingers through Liu Shiyun's long hair, I used the hairdryer to help her dry it. Smelling the scent of the shampoo from her hair, my mind started to wander a bit. After a while, when Liu Shiyun's hair was mostly dry, I turned off the hairdryer and placed it on the dressing table. Another day, let us go get our marriage certificate, then meet both our parents, and finalize our marriage. What do you think? Liu Shiyun was caught completely off guard by these words. Are you really willing to marry me? Being able to marry such a beautiful wife. I do not think anyone would be unwilling. I was actually telling the truth about this. After all, Liu Shiyun was indeed very beautiful. And she was the former campus belle of the finance department. Could it be that because of the babies, he plans to get a marriage certificate with me? Compared to me, Liu Shiyun's mind was running wild at this moment. Between the two of us, there were no feelings whatsoever. It was only because of the babies that our paths had crossed again. Seeing Liu Shiyun not answering, I continued on my own. Do not worry, although half of it is indeed because of the babies. But no matter what, you are the baby's mother. We can get the marriage certificate first, and date afterwards. Even though I can't guarantee anything right now, please trust that I will give you the best. So, are you willing to go with me to the Civil Affairs Bureau and get a marriage certificate? I looked at Liu Shiyun with some infatuation, afraid of missing a single word she was about to say next. To Liu Shiyun, The care I had shown her these past few days was clear to her, and she was not a materialistic woman. As long as I could be good to her and the babies, she would be content. Moreover, regarding this matter, Mom had already spoken to Liu Shiyun about it long ago. It was just that when I brought it up again today, she could not react in time. Now that she had reacted, naturally she had to respond to me. We can go to the Civil Affairs Bureau to get a marriage certificate. But regarding my parents' side, I am afraid it won't be easy. She seemed a bit reluctant to bring up her parents. Do not worry, leave this matter to me. I will convince them. For the sake of such a beautiful wife and children, I had to think of every possible way to convince my father-in-law and mother-in-law. Liu Shiyun gathered her clothes and things. I also carried some luggage downstairs. We put the things in the trunk. Then I drove the car towards my apartment. Over 10 minutes later, the car arrived downstairs at my apartment. After parking the car, I glanced over and found that the car rewarded by the system was parked in a parking spot not far away. Sure enough, it was a Mercedes-Benz G-Class. After we put the things away, Mom looked at Liu Shiyun. Shiyun, Andy's going to head back now. If you need anything, just tell Andy. Xingyu, take good care of Shiyun. If Mom finds out you did not take good care of Shiyun, I, as your mother, will teach you a lesson. Mom, do not worry, you do not even need to say it. I will take good care of her. It is a bit late today, how about you go back tomorrow? It is fine, it is close to home anyway. Mom will come see you guys another day. Xingyu, do not sleep too deeply at night. Pay attention to the babies. Tomorrow, go find a bigger apartment. That way it will be more convenient too. Also, when you have time another day, go get the marriage certificate with Shiyun. There is 200,000 in this card. Now that you have a wife and kids, it is not like before. Take this. Mom, I have money myself. Seeing the card Mom handed over, I quickly waved my hands. You do not even have a job right now. Do you really have money? Do not I know? Come on, listen to me and take it. Mom, I really have money. I bought some things online recently and made several 100,000. Mom was stunned to hear this. You better not be lying to Mom. Alright then. Since you have money now, Mom will keep the card. If you are short on money, tell Mom. With that, Mom headed back. After Mom left, I was afraid Liu Shiyun would feel awkward, so I spoke up first. I will take care of the babies tonight. You rest well. Let me do it. After all, you guys have not rested well these past few days. I can take good care of the babies. It is fine. The babies are still small right now. Basically, they just eat and sleep. I can handle it. You rest well. But you have taken care of me for so long over these 3 days. Now that we are home, you should be the one to rest. It should be me taking care of the babies. Liu Shiyun did not agree with me. Seeing Liu Shiyun looking so determined, I thought for a moment, then how about this? You take care of the babies for the first half of the night, and I will take care of the babies for the second half of the night. How does that sound? Alright then, I will take care of the babies for the first half of the night, and you take over for the second half. Seeing how determined I was, Liu Shiyun could only nod. Then I will rest first. If the babies need anything, wake me up. With that, I quickly fell asleep. Perhaps I was truly exhausted these past few days. I fell asleep incredibly fast. Liu Shiyun sat by the bed, looked at the babies in the crib, and then looked at me. She found that I looked very handsome while sleeping, and I did not even snore. After moving in with the campus belle, Liu Shiyun, I realized the apartment was too small. After dinner, I will go out and look for an apartment first. Once I find own, we will move. How about we just stay in my apartment? Even though it is only a own bedroom, we can buy another bed. Liu Shiyun knew that I had not been out of college for long, was still looking for a job, and did not have much money myself. And although she had graduated, she still had some money her parents gave her in the past. So if they were a bit frugal, they could still get by for the next 2 years. It is fine. Actually, I made some money previously. Originally, I planned that after I found a job, I would look for a bigger apartment. But now that I have the babies and you, this plan can be moved up. I'm going to go look at apartments first. If anything comes up, give me a call. I will come right back. Lock the door well at home and stay safe. I know, drive safely on the road too. At this moment, Liu Shiyun was just like a wife, reminding her husband to be safe when going out. After I left the apartment, Liu Shiyun then securely closed the door, thinking of how she had just reminded me like a wife. Her cheeks instantly flushed red. Please proceed to the Mercedes-Benz G-Class to check in. Just as I arrived in the neighborhood, the system's voice rang out. I was slightly taken aback. There is such a good thing. I took the car keys out of my bag and walked up to the Mercedes-Benz G-Class. I opened the door and took a look. The interior space was indeed huge. It had a full 7 seats. After I fastened my seatbelt, the system's voice echoed in my mind. Congratulations to the host for checking in inside the Mercedes-Benz JIS. Reward, 15% shares of Modu Huaxing Group. Shares in a group company. Regarding the name of this group company and its general information, I was still aware of it. This company ranked 6th in Modu. It could be said that owning 15% of the shares, just the annual dividends alone would amount to a significant sum of money. Thinking of this, I was incredibly excited. I drove the car and left the neighborhood. Last night, while taking care of the babies, I had found a nice residential complex online. So today, I drove the car over here. When I arrived outside this Renheng complex, I called the landlord here. 3 minutes later, the landlord jogged over. "Hello, mister. We do have apartments available here. We happen to have a few apartments for rent. I wonder what type, mister. How much is the rent for a 2-bedroom, 2-living room per month?" I thought about it and asked directly. The price for a 2-bedroom, 2-living room is 15,000 yuan. I presume before you came, you also looked into the environment of our area. Our side is considered very good, so this price is also quite reasonable. I understood that the rental prices in Modu were mostly quite expensive. Led by the landlord, I looked at the apartment, thought it was decent, and rented it. I went to the place where Liu Shiyun lived, contacted the landlord, and terminated the lease. As for Liu Shiyun's luggage at her place, I contacted a moving company to move everything to the new home. I found a new home, and I also terminated the lease on the apartment you rented. I had the moving company move the luggage and everything to the new home too. Oh, by the way, I also bought a car with plenty of space. Bought a car. Liu Shiyun was just about to ask, "Where did you get the money?" but suddenly remembered that I said yesterday I had made some money from buying things. The words reached her lips, but ultimately turned into a sentence. "You have worked hard." After eating lunch at noon, I packed the luggage together with Liu Shiyun. I did not have many things, bringing over the cooking utensils, and my clothes was enough. Looking at this car, Liu Shiyun's family conditions were relatively good, so she naturally could recognize roughly how much this car cost. Her guess was right. The price of this car was around 1 million. For a moment, she was a bit dazed. After putting the things in the trunk, I saw Liu Shiyun standing motionless in front of the car. I was slightly taken aback. "What is wrong?" "And nothing." Hearing my voice, Liu Shiyun snapped back to reality and shook her head. Before long, we arrived at the Renheng complex. The security guard took own look and recognized me. So when my car arrived at the complex, the security guard let us straight through. Liu Shiyun carefully handed the older baby to me. After I placed the older baby in the stroller, she then handed the younger baby to me as well. Seeing that both babies were in the stroller, Liu Shiyun finally got out of the car. Looking at the environment in this complex, Liu Shiyun guessed that the rent in this place was probably not cheap. She felt somewhat worried in her heart. Did I rent an apartment in such a luxurious complex just to keep up appearances? She did not know how much money I had made from buying things. But spending money so lavishly like this would completely burn through it. Lin Xingyu, the rental price here probably is not cheap, right? It is fine, do not worry. You do not need to worry about money. I smiled faintly. Right now, regarding money matters, I truly had absolutely no need to worry. Seeing that I did not want to say more, Liu Shiyun did not press the issue. She pushed the stroller, and soon we arrived at room 302. After opening the door, looking at the layout inside, Liu Shiyun was very satisfied. The area of this apartment was considered quite large. The bedroom on the left was a bit larger. "You and the babies will stay in the master bedroom, and I will take the smaller bedroom." Liu Shiyun hesitated for a moment. "How about you take the master bedroom, and the babies and I will take the smaller bedroom?" No need. I will tidy things up first. You take the babies to see the bedroom." Liu Shiyun pushed the double stroller and walked towards the bedroom on the left. A wardrobe, a dressing table, and the like. Everything was available in this room. At this moment, the babies suddenly woke up. The 2 little ones in the crib wiggled their little bodies, opening their dark, round eyes and looking at their mommy. At this time, I walked over from my bedroom and saw Liu Shiyun teasing the babies in the stroller. The babies are awake. These 2 little ones woke up just a moment after I entered the bedroom. Combined with line 147, I guess they feel they have come to a new home. So they wanted to wake up and take a look. It seems our little babies also want to see their new home. "Baby, Daddy will hold you to see the new home." "Baby, how is it? Are you satisfied with this new home? Although this new home is rented, do not worry. In a while, Daddy will buy a house. When the time comes, that house will be our new home, alright." The younger baby in my arms blinked its big eyes and cooed softly. Come, let daddy give you a kiss. Saying that, I planted a gentle kiss on the younger baby's tender pink cheek. When the smacking sound was made, the younger baby's lips actually curved up slightly, smiling at me. Look, the baby smiled. I hastily shared this with Liu Shiyun. It seems this little own really likes daddy. Liu Shiyun suddenly thought, feeling a bit sour. These two little ones had hardly ever smiled at her, and she usually kissed the babies quite often. Thinking of this, Liu Shiyun pursed her lips and smiled. What was wrong with her? Suddenly getting jealous of her own children. Alright, next up is decorating the room. My side is quite simple. Let me help you decorate your room first. Liu Shiyun took out the pink curtains from a cardboard box, combined with line 181. Just as she turned around, she stepped on the curtains, and was about to fall to the floor. Hearing Liu Shiyun's exclamation, I quickly turned around to look, only to see Liu Shiyun falling backward. With quick reflexes, I directly reached out both hands, and caught Liu Shiyun by her slender waist. The scene seemed to freeze at this very moment. Liu Shiyun also quietly looked at me. For a moment, she was unknowingly captivated. Is he trying to kiss me? If he kisses me, should I push him away? If I push him away, will he get angry? If I do not push him away, will he think I am a bad woman? In that split second, countless thoughts flashed through Liu Shiyun's mind. At this moment, seeing Liu Shiyun from such a close distance, the mother of my children was simply too beautiful. Then I planted a kiss on her cheek. Liu Shiyun's eyes widened, her gaze filled with panic, fluster, fear, and a myriad of complex emotions. Listening to her heart beating like a drum, I gently stroked Liu Shiyun's beautiful hair, and said softly, Shiyun, let us go get our marriage certificate together. I want to be with you always and forever. Seeing that she did not respond for a long time, I asked doubtfully, do you disagree? Liu Shiyun pursed her lips and shook her head. I did not disagree. It is just that you suddenly acting like this is a bit too sudden. Will you treat me well? My expression turned serious, and I said without hesitation, of course. Whatever I have, I will definitely give you the best. Then in this life, will you only love me? Of course. I promise that in this life, my true love is you. For the rest of my life, it will always be you. Hearing my promise, Liu Shiyun smiled. Her smile at this moment looked incredibly sweet. Alright then, I believe you. Tomorrow, let us go get our marriage certificate together. Seeing her agree, I was also overjoyed. Okay, tomorrow we will go get our marriage certificate, after we have met each other's parents. When the time comes, I will definitely give you a wedding you are most satisfied with. Meanwhile, Zhao Manwan and Lin Wenba, who is my father, were sitting together in the living room. I know everything. I plan to take a trip over to Xingyu's place tomorrow. Why go over now? Our son and Shiyun, the two of them, should be taking a step further in their relationship right now. If we go over now, we will only be disturbing them. As Xingyu's father, now that I know he has kids, what is wrong with going over to take a look? Besides, that girl gave birth to 2 grandchildren for our family. How would it look if we did not go over to see her? Since you want to go, then all right. But let me say this up front. When you go over, do not make things difficult for that girl. I know, it is not like I am an unreasonable person. That girl gave birth to 2 little babies for our family. So she is the daughter-in-law of our Lin family. Now you are also a grandfather. When you go over tomorrow, do not put on a stinky face. They did not tell me about their plan to visit my place tomorrow. The next morning, after breakfast, Mom and Dad got ready to set off. Liu Shiyun and I also brought the babies, preparing to head to the Civil Affairs Bureau together. Just then my phone rang. I looked and saw it was my mom calling. Xingyu, Mom and your dad are downstairs at your apartment building. Come down and open the door. Dad is here to... I just moved yesterday. I do not live there anymore. Your dad heard about what happened with you guys, and insisted on coming over to help you move. Then send me the address, we will drive over. Hanging up the phone, I sent my mom our current location. Then I looked at Liu Shiyun and spoke up, my dad is here. Uncle is here. If last time at the hospital, Liu Shiyun was extremely nervous when she first saw my mom arrive. Then now, hearing that my dad was also here, and would be arriving at our home very soon, Liu Shiyun instantly became quite anxious. Liu Shiyun turned pale with fright upon hearing the news, her small, clenched hands trembling with uncertainty. Seeing her anxious face, I feigned a calm expression. Do not worry, my dad is not an unreasonable person. With me here, you have nothing to fear. After yesterday's events, the relationship between us had grown much closer. Hearing my words, Liu Shiyun seemed to relax a little. My parents are here, so we won't be able to head out for now. Have a seat. I will go down to the gate to meet them in a moment. Although she was still uneasy deep down, having me by her side steadied her heart significantly. Soon Mom and Dad arrived outside our residential complex. Mom took out her phone and sent me a message. Upon receiving it, I let Shiyun know and headed out of the apartment. This place should not be cheap, right? Waiting outside the complex, Dad suddenly commented while looking at the surroundings. Mom could not help but shoot him a sideways glance. Xingyu told me before we left home that he did something online and made quite a bit of money. Since he has the money now, it is only natural to find a safe neighborhood with a good environment. After all, Xingyu's first apartment, safety aside, did not have a great environment either. Think about it, we have 2 babies in the family now. If they were still living in that old place, and Xingyu had to head out to look for work on day, it would be terrible if anything happened. That is true. Dad nodded, agreeing with Mom's reasoning. Soon I reached the entrance of the complex. After spotting my parents, I informed the security guard and walked out. Xingyu, we did not plan on coming today, but your dad insisted I bring him here. Mom said this while giving Dad a reproachful look. Dad, you are more than welcome here anytime. Mom, Dad, I have cleared it with security. You guys can drive the car inside first. But my dad, Lin Wenba, got into the car and drove into the complex. After parking, he got out and looked at me. You brat, if I had not kept pestering your mother after she got home, I still would not know I have grandchildren. That about that. I was pretty overwhelmed myself at first, but after figuring out the whole story, I understood. Your mother tells me the girl named Liu Shiyun is quite beautiful, regardless of the circumstances. Since she has carried on our Lin family line, you must treat her right, both morally and ethically. That I know. And actually, if you had not come today, Shiyun and I were just about to head to the Civil Affairs Bureau to get our marriage certificate. But since you are here, we will go another day. See, I told you not to come today. Now we have delayed Xingyu and Shiyun's marriage registration. Hearing this, Mom glared directly at Dad. The marriage certificate can be done anytime. Besides, is it wrong for me to come see my daughter-in-law and my grandchildren today? Not at all. Dad, let us head up first. I led the 2 elders into the elevator and arrived at room 302 on the 3rd floor. I took out my key and opened the door. As the door swung open, Liu Shiyun, seeing them enter from the living room, stood up with a polite, albeit slightly awkward, smile. She greeted them. Hello, Uncle. Hello, Auntie. Hearing her voice, Dad looked over and saw that the girl was indeed very beautiful. The corners of his mouth quirked up into a smile. You must be Shiyun. Hello. Shiyun, our sudden visit today. We did not disturb you, did we? Mom stepped forward, taking Shiyun's hand with a warm smile. Oh, Auntie, please do not say that. You are more than welcome here. Uncle, Auntie, please have a seat first. I will go get you some water. With that, Shiyun went to pour water for my parents. Seeing how polite and well-mannered the girl was, at least based on Dad's first impression, she was truly a fine young woman. Shiyun brought over 2 glasses. Uncle, Auntie, please have some water. Mom and Dad nodded as they took the glasses. Shiyun, do not keep busy, sit down. No need to be so formal. Mom held Shiyun's hand and had her sit down right beside her. Well, I have already heard about your situation. Dad took a sip of water, then looked at Shiyun and spoke in a gentle tone. Regarding this matter, the fault lies with my son. Just tell me how you would like him punished. Dad's sudden statement caught Shiyun completely off guard. She hurriedly waved her hands and spoke. Uncle, this was not just his fault alone. I was at fault too. Dad shook his head. He is a man. If he makes a mistake, he must take responsibility. No matter what, rules are rules. He was in the wrong here. And as his father, I certainly won't indulge him. Tell me, how should he be punished? Seeing how forceful Dad was being, Shiyun's expression twitched in distress. Uncle, it takes 2 to tango. We are both to blame. If you want to punish Xingyu, then punish me as well. Hearing such an answer, Dad could not help but glare at me. What a predicament. If he really made things difficult for his daughter-in-law, then in the future, she might end up resenting him. That would be terrible. But his son still had to be disciplined somehow. After a moment's thought, Dad spoke. All right, since my son was at fault this time, we will let him make up for it. He must take excellent care of you and the children. If he ever bullies you, or does anything to let you or this family down, you tell us immediately. We will definitely set him straight for you. Hearing this, Shiyun nodded, feeling a sense of relief in her heart. As long as Lin Xingyu was not being punished, it was fine. Also, I heard you were planning to get married today. Dad looked at me with a stern face. I rubbed my head. Yes, we plan to go today. Dad frowned deeply at me. Shiyun, standing by, was even more stunned. Did not auntie like me quite a bit? She even asked if I wanted to register with Xingyu. Why is uncle speaking so harshly? You young people just do not understand these things. You might think everything is fine right now, but Shiyun just gave birth. She should be properly resting during her postpartum month. How can you take her running around at a time like this? Let me tell you, when a woman gives birth, she needs a proper postpartum recovery. Otherwise, she will face all sorts of health issues later. Xingyu, remember Xiao Li, our old neighbor back home? He got married, and his wife did not recover properly after childbirth. Now, she falls ill every other week. It was my oversight. I know I was wrong. Luckily, my father reminded me now. Otherwise, I would have made a huge mistake. Uncle, it is not his fault. I agreed to it too. Going to the Civil Affairs Bureau today was a decision the two of us made together. Sigh, there are things you youngsters just do not get. But for now, Shiyun, you must have a proper postpartum rest and focus on recovering your health. Dad, I understand. As for the marriage certificate, we will go handle it once Shiyun has finished her recovery month. Once she has finished her recovery, you go get registered. Then we will prepare for the wedding. We will personally visit your parents to apologize and pay our respects. Hearing this, Shiyun's face suddenly stiffened. She knew her parents were not easy people to talk to, and she feared they would make things difficult for my family. Mom noticed Shiyun's reaction and quickly interrupted her husband. There is no rush for that. Let us take it one step at a time. Hearing his wife's words and seeing Shiyun's troubled look, Dad realized he had spoken too hastily. He waved his hand quickly. No rush, no rush. Are the babies in the bedroom? To break the awkwardness, Mom suddenly spoke up. Let us go see the children first. With that, Mom pulled Dad along into Shiyun's bedroom, leaving Shiyun and me alone. I'm sorry. It was my oversight. Once my parents left, I sat down beside Shiyun, my face full of apology. It is fine. I did not know about these things either. Besides, I agreed to it. If anything, I feel bad that you got scolded by Uncle because of this. It is okay, it is only right. Getting scolded helped me remember these things. I won't let anything like this happen again. Combined with line 216, the two elders entered Shiyun's bedroom and saw the two little ones sleeping in the double crib. Their tiny bodies were incredibly adorable. Seeing these two precious babies, Dad felt his heart was about to melt completely. These were his grandchildren. See, did not I tell you? Are not these two little treasures adorable? Mom, seeing the kind and gentle expression on Dad's face, said somewhat triumphantly. Dad raised an eyebrow and whispered, that is for sure. They are Lin family children. Of course they are adorable. It is a pity they are still so small and do not know how to call me Grandpa yet. Once they are older and can call me Grandpa, that will be much better. In the past, seeing other people, already becoming grandparents, with grandchildren running all around them, it would be a lie to say they were not envious. They had even thought that if their son had married earlier, they could have been holding grandchildren at their age too. Now, that dream had finally become a reality. Now that you have seen the children, how about you head back after lunch? I will stay here to help take care of the kids. I am very satisfied seeing how cute these grandchildren are. But you can't stay here. Dad shook his head. Why can't I stay? While I trust Xingyu to take care of Shiyun and the babies, I am still a bit uneasy with him doing it all alone. Times have changed. This era is completely different from our time. Young people have their own ideas, and their lifestyle habits are different from ours. If you stay here and end up nagging them about things you are not used to, they might listen, but they won't necessarily take it to heart. Over time, it might even lead to conflict. Besides, Xingyu and Shiyun have not known each other for long. We should give them more private space to cultivate their relationship. If they love each other and live well, then we, as parents, can be at peace. Hearing Dad's words, Mom instinctively nodded, but she soon frowned again. So you mean I should not help with the kids? I did not say you should not help, but you do not have to stay here constantly. You can come over every other week for a few days. As for the rest of the time, let them build their own bond. But if we do that, Xingyu does not have a job right now. Their small savings will run out eventually. Dad thought about it and agreed. It would not do for his son not to work. All right, I will talk to them once we go back out. Dad was worried I could not afford to raise the babies, so he came over to have a talk with me. I heard from your mother that you have been doing something online and made some money. I smiled faintly. I have made about 2 or 3 million. Oh, is it really that profitable? Still, no matter how much you are making, it is better to find a job. Though if the money comes in more steadily, Shiyun is in her recovery month right now, so she definitely can't go out to find work. If you do not work either, where will your future income come from? Now that you have children, mom and dad can help you look after them, but you are a grown man now. You can't expect your parents to take care of you too. If you are short on cash, you can tell us, but you still need a job to support your family's life moving forward. Dad, I understand everything you are saying. Once Shiyun finishes her recovery month, I will go out and find a job. After all, if I went to work right now, while she is recovering and caring for the babies alone, I would not feel right about it. Do not worry, I have already discussed it with your mother. When things are not busy at home, she will come over to help you with the kids. Son, let me say it again, take good care of her. Do not let her down. You two were brought together because of the children, so make sure to cherish and protect her. Dad, you can rest easy to find such a beautiful wife, who even gave our Lin family a boy and a girl. You could not find a woman like her even if you searched with a lantern. By the way, Dad, I have named the two babies. The older own is Lin Xingyu, and the younger own is Lin Xingyu. What do you think? Dad heard this and said, not bad at all. Xingyu and Xingyu. I hope the two babies grow up healthy and strong. After eating lunch, Mom and Dad headed out. After seeing them out of the neighborhood, I returned home. About what my parents said today. Do not overthink it. Uncle and Auntie only want what is best for us. How could I overthink it? Liu Shiyun pursed her lips and smiled, shaking her head. It looks like we can't get the marriage certificate today. We will have to wait until you finish your recovery month before we head to the Civil Affairs Bureau. It is fine. The Bureau is not going anywhere. It is not like it will run away. It is the same whether we go now or after my recovery. No, it is not the same at all. I suddenly sat down in front of Liu Shiyun, looking at her with a soft gaze. Seeing that my eyes were fixed on her, Liu Shiyun's pretty face flushed red, and she became a bit bashful. Could he be thinking? Now that our relationship had improved, I had grown a bit bolder. I took Liu Shiyun's small hand in mine. Look, since we are planning to get married anyway, and we already have children, why do not we change how we address each other? Change it to what? With her cheeks burning crimson, Liu Shiyun asked in a tiny voice. For example, honey, darling, or husband. You? Liu Shiyun's eyes widened at my words. Honey, darling, husband. How was she supposed to say those? Can we not use those names? You have to pick on today, or else I am not letting go. Hearing my forceful tone, Liu Shiyun pursed her lips. After a long silence, in a voice as soft as a mosquito's buzz, she called out, husband. Her voice was so quiet that I could not hear it clearly. She stole a glance at me, and saw that I truly looked as if I had not heard a thing. Pursing her lips, she said in an adorably soft tone, if you did not hear it, that is it. I already said it anyway, that won't do. If I did not hear it, how can I prove you said it? Come on, say it one more time. Be good and say it again. I will listen carefully this time. Since he did not hear it, she would just have to say it once more. Liu Shiyun took a deep breath, found a bit more courage, and looked directly into my eyes. Husband, yes, wife. I suddenly could not help but burst out laughing. Teasing this girl was actually quite fun. Looking at my expression, Liu Shiyun realized instantly that she had clearly been tricked by me. He must have heard her. From the very first time she called him husband, he just deliberately made her say it a few more times. You actually tricked me. Liu Shiyun gritted her teeth and reached out to punch me playfully. However, she did not use much strength at all. Instead, in my eyes, the Liu Shiyun of this moment seemed to be acting coy with me. I caught her other wrist with my hand, the smile still lingering on my face. I looked at her. Alright, my fault, but hearing you call me husband made it all worth it. Thank you. Suddenly the mood shifted. I pulled her directly into my arms. Wife, it is so good to have you. That single sentence made Liu Shiyun melt instantly. She thought back to everything since she got pregnant, going out to buy groceries and cooking all by herself, and all the hardships of carrying the babies. For a moment, tears began to stream down her face. Hearing her crying, I panicked immediately. I looked at her at a total loss, not understanding why she was weeping. Was it because I had just tricked her and made her angry? Wife, do not cry. It is my fault. I am the one who made you upset. I promise I will never make you angry again. Please stop crying. Watching me apologize so frantically, Liu Shiyun shook her head, wiping the tears from her eyes. It is not your fault. It is nothing you did. I just thought about things from the past, so that was it. I breathed a sigh of relief. I gazed at her face, helping her brush away the tears. I said softly, no matter how it was before, I'm here now. I promise I won't let you cry anymore. I will only make sure you are happy every single day. Thank you. Perhaps because she finally had someone to lean on. She was deeply moved by my words. She leaned her head against my shoulder. Maybe it was because she had bottled things up for too long. And now that she finally had support, she relaxed and fell asleep right there on my shoulder. Seeing that she was asleep, I moved my body with extreme care. I gently laid her on the bed and tucked her in. Just as I was preparing to leave, a hand suddenly reached out from under the covers and grabbed the hem of my shirt. I heard her mutter 2 words, "Do not go. Do not worry, I won't go. I will stay right here with you," I said tenderly. Then, holding her hand, I placed it back under the covers and sat beside her to keep her company. It was around 5:00 p.m. when Liu Shiyun finally woke up. As soon as she woke, she looked around, realizing she had fallen asleep in the bedroom. Oh my God, she actually fell asleep. She pulled up the quilt to cover her head. She had truly embarrassed herself today. However, with things developing this way, their relationship had grown even closer. This seemed quite nice too. Just then, the notification sound on her phone rang. Who would be messaging her at this time? Liu Shiyun reached out and grabbed the phone from the small wooden nightstand. She opened it and saw it was from her best friend. "Shiyun, I am planning to return to the country tomorrow. You would better be there to pick me up." Seeing the message, Liu Shiyun let out a startled cry and sat up abruptly. "What is wrong? What happened?" I heard her voice from the bedroom and thought something had happened to her. I rushed in, still holding a spatula. Seeing me wearing a pink apron, holding a spatula in own hand, with a face full of worry, Liu Shiyun felt a sweetness in her heart. "It is nothing really. It is just a good friend of mine, who is planning to return to the country tomorrow. She asked me to go to the airport to pick her up." The good friend, man or woman? I frowned slightly upon hearing this. If it was a woman, that would be fine. A woman, of course. She has been studying abroad for a few years. She must have graduated and is planning to return. She wants me to pick her up at the airport. You are in your recovery month. How can you go running around? How about this? Ask for her flight itinerary, and I will drive over to pick her up tomorrow. What do you think? It is not impossible for you to go pick her up. Let me ask her first. Then I will go back to cooking. I said a quick word and left the bedroom to continue preparing dinner in the kitchen. Liu Shiyun, meanwhile, used her phone to message her best friend. "Kaching, before that, there is something I need to tell you." "What is it?" "Is it because you know I am coming back tomorrow, and you are preparing a surprise for me?" I do not think it counts as a surprise. It is probably more of a shock. Liu Shiyun smiled to herself. If her best friend knew she already had 2 little babies, the surprise would definitely turn into a shock. "Actually, I just gave birth not long ago, and I am in my recovery month, so I won't be able to pick you up tomorrow." "Oh my God, Shiyun, you are not kidding, are you? We saw each other last year, and now you are telling me you actually have a child." "Why would I lie to you? It is true. If you do not believe me, I will take a photo of the babies for you to see." With that, Liu Shiyun used her phone to snap a photo of the 2 little ones sleeping. After she sent it, the other side was silent for a while, and then Liu Shiyun's phone rang. The call was from her best friend, Chu Kaching. Looking at the number, Liu Shiyun hesitated for a moment before answering. As soon as she picked up, a loud voice erupted from the other end. "My God, Shiyun, those 2 adorable little things. Are they really your babies? Should be quieter. Do not wake them up. It is true. They really are my children." "But wait, when we met last year, you were not even dating anyone. How did you get a boyfriend the moment I left? And you have even had kids already." It is a bit of an unexpected story. I did not think at the time that things would turn out this way. Hurry up and tell me everything. How on earth did this happen? How did you meet the guy? Is he handsome? Does he treat you well? You are asking so many questions at once. How am I supposed to answer? Do not rush, I will tell you slowly. Liu Shiyun smiled gracefully and told Chu Kaching the whole story, from the initial family conflict, to meeting me on the roadside after leaving home, then to being pregnant and eventually giving birth, to calling me, and me coming to the hospital, to take meticulous care of her. Shiyun spoke for about 10 minutes. When she finished, she fell silent, giving Chu Kaching some time to process it all. No wonder every time I tried to video call you, you would only let me see your face. Wow, you actually kept this from me for so long. I did not mean to keep it from you. You were studying abroad. And if I had told you then, It would have affected your studies. If I had not graduated and decided to return, and asked you to pick me up at the airport, you would probably still be hiding it from me. When I get back, you would better make it up to me. About tomorrow, Lin Xingyu said. He will go to the airport to pick you up. By the way, you still have not said, is your husband handsome or not? Is he a total hunk? Hearing Chu Keqing's words, Liu Shiyun's pretty face turned red. How should I put it? He really is quite handsome, even more handsome than those celebrities. Auntie, Shiyun kept this from you. Worried her friend would not recognize me. She sent over a handsome photo of me. As it turned out, her friend had a slip of the thumb, and sent my handsome photo to my mother-in-law instead. Then, a magical scene unfolded. Just a moment ago, Liu Shiyun claimed her husband was more vibrant and handsome than many male celebrities. Seeing the message, Chu Keqing was filled with curiosity. Then send me a photo of your handsome husband. That way, I can find him the moment I walk out of the airport tomorrow. Liu Shiyun was momentarily stunned. Wait a second. I will go take own in a bit. No way. Liu Shiyun, do not tell me. You do not even have a photo of your husband on your phone. We have only known each other for a few days. If it were not for the babies, our paths probably would not have even crossed. That is true. Let us leave it at that for now. Tomorrow when I am back and we meet, we will chat about the details. Remember to send me your husband's photo later. After Chu Keqing hung up the phone, she frowned slightly and sent a message to Liu Shiyun's mom. Auntie, did you know Shiyun had a baby? Kidding, Shiyun has a baby. When did this happen? At this moment, the future mother-in-law was also stunned as she looked at her phone. Oh, Auntie actually did not know. Seeing this message, Chu Keqing hurriedly and clumsily tried to retract the message she had just sent. Why retract it? I already saw it. Does Shiyun really have a baby? Quickly, tell Auntie what the situation is. Shiyun had already told you about the babies. I did not realize you did not know. Never mind that. How did you find out? Did Shiyun tell you? This girl keeping such a huge thing from me, her own mother. I contacted Shiyun today, saying I was returning tomorrow and asking her to pick me up. But she said she is in her recovery month and can't come. That is how I found out Shiyun had a baby. So that means she only recently gave birth. The future mother-in-law was both shocked and delighted, yet she felt a bit resentful in her heart. Why did not she tell her mother? Yes, and I just got a photo of the babies. Do you want to see them? Yes, send it over. Let me see. Mother Liu received the photo of the babies. Looking at the two little ones in the picture. Are these really my grandchildren? They were indeed very adorable. These little ones looked almost exactly like Shiyun did when she was a child. She suddenly thought of something. How is that man treating Shiyun? Do you have a photo of the man? I spoke with Shiyun on the phone. Judging by her tone, she is doing quite well right now. And when she spoke of Lin Xingyu, Shiyun's husband, there was clearly a sweet quality to her voice. Auntie, Shiyun has been keeping this from you. You won't be angry now that you know, right? Angry? How could I not be angry? But now that the children are here, if that man really treats Shiyun well, what else can I do as her mother? I can only give them my blessing. Hee, that is good then. Auntie, these two babies are so cute. You are a grandmother now. Say, did Shiyun tell you their current address? Not yet. I will only know when Lin Xingyu picks me up tomorrow and takes me back to their place. In that case, tomorrow after Lin Xingyu picks you up and arrives at their home, send me the location. Auntie, when you see them, you won't do anything else, will you? After all, they are living together now. You won't break them up, right? I am afraid Shiyun might blame me for the rest of her life. Do not worry about that. As long as my daughter is happy, how could I, as her mother, possibly break them up? In the apartment, Liu Shiyun held her phone and walked stealthily out of the bedroom. She came to the kitchen door and watched my busy silhouette inside. Liu Shiyun picked up her phone and snapped a quick photo. While I was stir-frying, hearing the shutter click of the camera, I glanced sideways and saw Liu Shiyun standing at the kitchen door. Why did you come out? The kitchen is full of fumes. Go back and stay in the bedroom. I just came over to take a look. Liu Shiyun stammered as she spoke. Getting caught red-handed taking a photo was quite embarrassing. Take a look. I think you were taking a picture of me. I'm your husband after all. If you want a photo of me, you can just tell me. It is not like I would say no. Well, I just wanted to take a photo of you. Though when you pick up my best friend at the airport tomorrow, she can recognize you immediately. I acted as if I had not heard what Shiyun said. I looked at her with a smile on my face. Before you speak, did you forget what you are supposed to call me? Seeing her about to say something, I waved my hand. Wife, you should call me husband. If you do not call me husband. Then you can't take this photo. Husband. Liu Shiyun's face turned beet red, seeing my beaming expression. She quickly snapped a few photos with her phone, then turned and ran back to her bedroom as if escaping. At the kitchen door, I let out a loud laugh, thinking of Shiyun's bashful look. She was truly incredibly cute. It was just a title after all. There was no need to be so shy. Back in the room, Liu Shiyun looked at the photos in her gallery. She realized that not only was I handsome, but I was also very photogenic. Her own husband, handsome and photogenic. On top of that, he could cook, and the food he made was absolutely delicious. Her husband seemed quite excellent, did not he? If she could eat his cooking every day and see his handsome face every day, calling him husband did not seem so unacceptable. Besides, when he called her wife, she did not feel any rejection at all. Instead, she felt a certain sweetness in her heart. Liu Shiyun, what is wrong with you? It has only been a few days. How can you be like this? Shaking off those thoughts, she sent the photo to Chu Keqing. Wow, Shiyun, your husband is so handsome. The moment it was sent, Chu Keqing replied almost instantly, looking at Chu Keqing's message, praising my good looks. Without even realizing it, Liu Shiyun felt a surge of pride. With such a handsome husband, you would better keep a close eye on him. Be careful he does not get snatched by other girls. Impossible. He is very good to me, and he even cooks for me. The meals he makes are very delicious. Not only is he handsome, but he can cook too. He is a total catch. Shiyun, are you sure your husband is not a celebrity? No, he is not a celebrity. He was still in school when we met. Gosh, at this moment, seeing such a handsome man, I am actually a bit jealous of you. I suddenly want to try the bitterness of love myself. If I had such a handsome husband, I would be clinging to him every single day. It must be said that after several years of studying abroad, Chu Keqing's personality had become quite bold and outspoken. Compared to Liu Shiyun, Chu Keqing's personality was much more open. Jealous, right? All you can do is be jealous, hee. Anyway, I am going now. I am about to eat. My husband is waiting for me. Alright, see you tomorrow. Chu Keqing also sent the photo to Mother Liu. Auntie, this is the man named Lin Xingyu. According to Shiyun, this man can even cook. Jing looked at the photo Chu Keqing had sent. The man in the photo looked very vibrant and handsome, and since the man could cook as well, that was an extra point in his favor. It could be said that from the first moment she saw my photo, Mother Liu felt quite a favorable impression of this young man. Perhaps it is true that the more a mother-in-law looks at her son-in-law, the more satisfied she becomes. Wife, time to eat. In the living room, I placed the food on the table, then went to the bedroom door and called out to Liu Shiyun. Oh, okay, I am coming. In the bedroom, Liu Shiyun put down her phone and walked out, smelling the aroma of the food on the table. Liu Shiyun's stomach chose that moment to let out an ungraceful growl. Hearing the sound of her own stomach, Liu Shiyun's cheeks flushed red with embarrassment once again. This is too embarrassing. Hungry, let us eat together. Hearing her stomach growl, I took her hand and led her to the dining table. Since Liu Shiyun was still in her recovery month, I had looked it up online. It is best not to eat spicy food during the recovery period. Otherwise, it is not good for both the mother and the babies. Even though there was a lack of spice, the food I cooked was very flavorful, so it was perfectly acceptable. I will send you Chu Keqing's photo in a bit. That way you can recognize her when you pick her up tomorrow. My best friend is very beautiful, you know. Hearing this, I raised an eyebrow and looked at Shiyun. She is her, and you are you. In my heart, my wife is the most beautiful own. Hearing me say this, Liu Shiyun felt a sweetness in her heart. Even the rice in her mouth seemed to taste much better. She might not even have noticed this subtle psychological change herself. The two enjoyed a harmonious dinner together. After I finished clearing the dishes, Liu Shiyun sent Chu Keqing's photo to me. The moment the photo was sent, Liu Shiyun's eyes were fixed on me, wanting to see my first reaction to seeing her best friend. What kind of expression would I have? I picked up my phone and looked at the photo Shiyun had sent. It had to be said that Chu Keqing was indeed quite good-looking. If Liu Shiyun's looks were a 9, then Chu Keqing's were an 8. However, no other thoughts crossed my mind. Looking at Chu Keqing's photo, my gaze remained very calm. Liu Shiyun also noticed that as I looked at her friend's photo, my gaze was extremely steady, as if in my eyes, her best friend Chu Keqing was just an ordinary person. Well, she is very beautiful, is not she? Liu Shiyun asked tentatively. I nodded expressionlessly. She is indeed quite beautiful. As expected of your best friend. That is because she is beautiful. She did not know why she had suddenly asked that. The moment the words left her mouth, she regretted it a little. I put down my phone and came to stand in front of Liu Shiyun. I reached out and took her small hand. In my heart, you are the most beautiful, I said gently. No matter who it is, no one can surpass you in looks. Hearing this, Liu Shiyun pursed her lips and smiled. While savoring this moment, she took a deep breath. Although I did not lavish her with grand praise, she was quite satisfied with my answer. She leaned against my shoulder and asked shyly, "Then will you love me for the rest of your life? Will you love only me forever?" "I will. Since I have chosen you, we will be a couple for a lifetime. Some things are not just about talk, but I will prove it through my actions. Will you believe me?" At this moment, Liu Shiyun summoned her courage, her face red as she looked at me. She said gracefully, "Husband, I believe you." And I responded to her, calling her wife tenderly. Even though we had not registered our marriage yet, the bond between the two of us was already much stronger than when we first met. Liu Shiyun asked me to pick up her best friend from the airport. As I was driving, I heard the system's voice ring out. "Please proceed to Modu Airport to check in. Reward, unknown." 10 minutes later, I parked the car and arrived outside the airport. Congratulations to the host for reaching Modu Airport. You have received a reward of 1 million yuan in cash. You have acquired the physical fitness skill. Standing there in the airport, hearing the system's voice in my head, I could not help but look delighted. Before long, a beautiful girl, pushing a red suitcase, stepped off the plane and walked toward me, looking at the woman with delicate features. I knew she was Chu Keqing. I immediately called out, "Chu Keqing." Hearing someone call her name, she quickly looked toward the sound. When she saw my face, her eyes lit up. Lin Xingyu turned out to be even more handsome than in his photos. For a moment, Chu Keqing wondered if her best friend just did not know how to take good photos. She smiled, pulling her suitcase as she walked toward me. "Hello, are you Lin Xingyu? Wow, I did not expect you to be even more handsome than your photos." "That is right, it is me." I nodded with a smile. "I also did not expect you to be even prettier than your photos." I replied politely, "Let me take your luggage for you." "Hey, thank you." Chu Keqing nodded and handed the suitcase to me. I took the luggage and led Chu Keqing out of the airport terminal. I put the luggage in the trunk and let Chu Keqing into the car. In the passenger seat, Chu Keqing looked around the car, taking it all in. If I am not mistaken, this should be a Mercedes-Benz Jus. The price is around 1 million yuan. I smiled and buckled my seatbelt. "Yeah, about that much." Hearing my answer, Chu Keqing nodded to herself. From the first moment she saw me, I had seemed very refined. And now, I also had a car worth 1 million yuan. Whether I bought this car myself, or my parents bought it for me, it showed that my family background was quite good. Even though her best friend had said she did not care about his status as long as he treated her well. As a best friend, she could not feel the same way. At the very least, a good life requires financial stability. If he could not even afford clothes for the kids, or supplements for his wife, then even if she married him, her friend would suffer. So, regarding the financial strength I displayed, Chu Keqing was quite satisfied. Besides, Auntie also hoped Shiyun would live a happy life. I drove the car toward the Renheng residential complex. Before long, we arrived at the complex. Once the car was parked, I helped carry the luggage up. Chu Keqing nodded in satisfaction. Her best friend's husband was truly considerate. The environment in the Renheng complex looked very nice. It was clear that renting here would not be cheap for a month. After entering the elevator, we soon arrived outside room 302. Chu Keqing knocked on the door. Inside the apartment, Liu Shiyun heard the knocking and hurried to the door. Finding her best friend Chu Keqing and me, she joyfully opened the door. Liu Shiyun. The two best friends, separated for nearly a year, finally met at this moment. They were so excited they even hugged each other. "Shiyun, I missed you so much. Could you meet us?" They hugged for a full minute before letting go. "Keqing, come in quickly." Liu Shiyun happily pulled Chu Keqing inside, even forgetting to greet her own husband. Watching Liu Shiyun's happy face, I was happy for her too. After all, this was her best friend. "Where are the babies? I want to see them first." The moment she stepped inside, Chu Keqing could not contain her excitement, and immediately asked Liu Shiyun, "The babies are in my bedroom. Come, I will take you to see them." With that, Liu Shiyun led Chu Keqing into the bedroom. Chu Keqing looked at the two little ones in the stroller, and her eyes lit up. Wow, such adorable babies. And there are two of them. The two little babies were lying quietly in the crib, looking like two little angels. Cute, soft and precious. For a moment, Chu Keqing felt her heart melt. Hearing her best friend praise her babies, Liu Shiyun felt very proud, as if she were being praised herself. Which of these two is the brother and which is the sister? The one with a bit less hair is the brother. The brother is Lin Xingyu, and the sister is Lin Xingyu. Not bad at all. We chatted on the phone for a bit last time. But there are some things I do not know yet. Now that I am here today, you would better tell me everything. Liu Shiyun pulled Chu Keqing down onto the bed, and they began to chat. In the living room, I was assembling a crib. Seeing the two girls in the room, likely sharing secrets, I naturally felt it was not the right time to disturb them. So you mean you have already met Lin Xingyu's parents? They are very satisfied with you, and said that after your recovery month, they would personally visit your home to pay their respects. Yes, uncle and auntie are very good to me, and auntie takes great care of me too. By the way, I saw Lin Xingyu's car today. It must cost over 1,000,000 yuan. Did he buy that car himself? Or did his parents buy it for him? He bought it himself. He paid in full. I heard he made quite a bit of money from some online investments. I know about that. They have been rising lately. I dabbled in it in the first half of the year too. I invested 10,000 and made over 100,000, but I was afraid they would drop, so I sold them later. Shiyun, this husband of yours is great. He can make money, treats you well, is handsome, and can cook. If I can find such a good husband in the future, I will be satisfied too. Liu Shiyun felt delighted in her heart. Praising Lin Xingyu was basically like praising her, right? This was her own husband, after all. Not long after, Liu Shiyun heard a knock on the door. She quickly got up and opened it. What is wrong? With an outsider there, she was too shy to call me husband. I have finished assembling the baby's double crib. I thought the babies should give it a try. So fast. Liu Shiyun looked at me with some surprise. She remembered that when they had just come back, the crib was not assembled yet. She did not expect me to finish it so quickly. Of course. Your husband is quite capable, you know. I smiled gently. Let the babies try it out. With that, I pushed the double crib into the bedroom. Then the two of them spread the blankets inside. Only then did we place the babies into the new crib, looking at the two adorable little ones, falling asleep in the double crib that I had assembled with my own hands. I felt a great sense of achievement at this moment. After folding up the stroller, I looked at Liu Shiyun and Chu Keqing. You two keep chatting. I am going out to prepare lunch. I will be troubling you then, Lin Xingyu. Chu Keqing gave me a slight smile. After finishing lunch at noon, and bringing all the dishes to the table, I went to the bedroom to call them out to eat. Chu Keqing looked at the dishes on the plates. They looked fantastic and clearly delicious. When she picked up her chopsticks and took a bite, the taste was exactly as she had imagined. She was immediately excited. Wow, Shiyun, your husband's cooking is delicious. It is even better than the 5-star hotels I visited abroad. If you like it, then eat more. Seeing her best friend enjoy the food, Liu Shiyun was also very happy. Here, try this. I helped put some food on Liu Shiyun's plate. My gaze was full of tenderness, watching me personally serve Liu Shiyun, with eyes full of love. Chu Keqing felt as if she were being fed dog food, public display of affection. After just a few bites, she already felt full from the sweetness. Seeing how well I treated Liu Shiyun, Chu Keqing was relieved. After lunch, Chu Keqing sat on the sofa, thought for a moment and took out her phone. She sent a message to Liu Shiyun's mother. Auntie, I arrived at Shiyun's home today. I have also seen the man named Lin Xingyu. He is very good to Shiyun and the babies. And Lin Xingyu can make money and adore Shiyun. Plus, he can even cook and all that. You could say this man is quite excellent. Not long after, Jing Xiujing replied to Chu Keqing's message. That is good. Send me the address. I will go over and have a look tomorrow. By the way, do not tell Shiyun for now. Auntie, you are coming over tomorrow. Sure, I will send you the address. Chu Keqing immediately sent the location. Upon receiving the location sent by Chu Keqing, Jing had a smile on her face. They only had this own daughter. As long as Lin Xingyu treated her daughter sincerely, and as long as her daughter could be happy, then no matter what his family background was, she, as a mother, would be happy too. So she decided to go to her daughter's place tomorrow, to see her grandchildren and meet this son-in-law. At this time, the two babies woke up. I carried the older own and Liu Shiyun carried the younger own. As we walked out of the bedroom together, seeing us come out, carrying the children, Chu Keqing quickly stood up. Hi little ones, are you coming out to play? The older baby looked at Chu Keqing curiously. Compared to his sister, the older brother was naturally a bit bolder. He made some baby sounds, as if asking who are you? Chu Keqing could not understand the baby's language, so she introduced herself. Babies, I am your mommy's best friend. My name is Chu Keqing, and I am your auntie. Be good and let auntie hold you. The children were so cute that the moment she saw them, Chu Keqing had wanted to hold them, but the babies were sleeping at that time. If she had tried to hold them then, she would likely have woken them up. Now that they were awake, she did not have to worry about disturbing them. Baby, this is mommy's best friend, your Auntie Chu. Come, do not be afraid. Let Auntie Chu hold you. I spoke gently to the older baby. With my guidance, Chu Keqing carefully took the older baby into her arms. Little guy, I am your auntie. You are so cute now. When you grow up, you will definitely be as handsome as your daddy. Since both Liu Shiyun and I were very good looking, she believed the babies would not be far behind. She just wondered how many young girls this little guy would charm in the future. Once the two little ones fell asleep again, they were placed back into the crib. In the living room, Liu Shiyun sat beside Chu Keqing. Keqing, now that you are back, you won't be going abroad again, right? No, I won't be going back. I plan to find a job here in Moda soon. By the way, about the babies, are not you going to tell your parents? Hearing this, Liu Shiyun was silent for a while, before finally speaking. Let us wait a bit longer. I will tell them after some time. Liu Shiyun had no idea that her mom was already packing her things, preparing to rush over early the next morning. Early the next morning, she took a train and showed up at our door. At this moment, Chu Keqing was stammering. Shiyun, your mother is already on her way. Keqing, what is going on? Why did my mother suddenly come here? Did you tell her our address? Shiyun, do not panic yet, listen to my sophistry. Listen to my explanation. Looking at my wife's agitated expression, I stepped forward and took her hand. Do not get upset. Let us hear what Chu Keqing has to say first. Besides, since Auntie is already here, we should naturally welcome her. We had to face this eventually. It is just happening a bit sooner than planned. Liu Shiyun looked at me, filled with worry. She was worried that her mother's sudden arrival would lead to her blaming me. After all, the situation with the babies was not my fault alone. If her mother blamed her, she could accept it, but she could not bear it if I were the one blamed. Would something even more terrible happen, like her mother breaking my legs? Actually, after I called you last time and found out you had babies, I thought Auntie knew, so I asked her about it. I did not realize you had not told her, which led to her grilling me. I had no choice but to send the photos of the babies to her and tell her what happened between you two. But do not worry, Shiyun. While talking to Auntie, I said a lot of good things on Lin Xingyu's behalf. Besides, your husband is so excellent, and he is so good to you and the children. Once Auntie understands the circumstances, she will definitely be very satisfied with him. Do not worry, I will definitely make Auntie proud of me. I held Liu Shiyun's hand tightly, a look of determination on my face. Even if she breaks my legs, I will accept it. When my mom gets here, if she says anything harsh, please do not get angry, okay? Despite my comforting words, Liu Shiyun was still very uneasy. It is fine, I won't get angry. I can understand no matter what Auntie says. Their daughter was suddenly whisked away by some guy, and even had 2 children. Any parent would be furious, right? Around 10:00 a.m., Jing sent a message. She had already arrived outside the residential complex. Shiyun, Auntie is here. I will go down to meet her. Chu Keqing spoke up immediately after reading the message. After hearing that, I promptly replied, I will go. At a time like this, I should be the one to pick her up personally. To show my sincerity, I will go too. Liu Shiyun looked at me with a worried face, terrified her mother would lash out at me. It is different outside than it is in here. You are still in your recovery month. You can't go out. Be good and wait for me at home. I will bring Auntie up. I took the keys and left the room. Shiyun, do not worry. Lin Xingyu is so outstanding. I am sure Auntie won't make things difficult for him. I hope so. The worry on Liu Shiyun's face was plain to see. She was already imagining all sorts of possibilities in her mind. But no matter what happened, it would not change her resolve to be with me. I went downstairs and walked toward the complex entrance. Right by the main gate of the neighborhood, I saw an elegant woman. I presumed this was Liu Shiyun's mother. Jing spotted me as well. She had to admit this young man was much more handsome in person than in the photos. Moreover, he looked very vibrant, with a hint of tenderness beneath his good looks. Hello, Auntie. May I ask if you are Liu Shiyun's mother? Although I was feeling apprehensive, I still spoke up. You must be Lin Xingyu. I have seen your photos. I must say, you are even more handsome than your pictures. Yes, Auntie. Thank you for the generous compliment. Shiyun is still in her recovery month, so it is not convenient for her to come out. She wanted to come out with me just now, but I did not let her, so please do not blame her, Auntie. Auntie understands. During the recovery month, It is best not to be exposed to the wind, or it is easy to catch a cold. I am glad you understand, Auntie. Auntie, let me lead the way. I breathed a sigh of relief. It seemed Auntie was not as difficult to get along with as I had imagined. But Jing looked at me, and nodded with a smile. She had to admit she was quite satisfied with this son-in-law. From the first glance and from the way he spoke up for Shiyun, she had already heard from Chu Keqing that I was very good. To Shiyun and the babies, she also had a fair idea of what kind of person I was. She had seen many young men in her life, but at first sight she felt, those other young men could not even compare to me. Is it alright if I call you Xingyu? Of course, and that is perfectly fine. You can call me whatever you like. That is good. Xingyu, regarding the children, and the situation with Shiyun, do your parents know? Auntie, my parents already know. They said we should get our marriage certificate after Shiyun's recovery month, and then they will bring us to visit your home personally to apologize. Actually, I am the one to blame for this whole thing. If that incident had not happened back then, things would not be like this now. And what about you? What are your thoughts? Me, I actually planned to go with Shiyun to get our marriage certificate a few days ago. But my dad scolded me, saying she was still in her recovery month and should not be running around outside. Jing looked at me intently. What Auntie means is, how do you feel about Shiyun? Actually, at the very beginning, when I received Shiyun's call, I thought I was being asked to be a fallback guy or something. After all, after our paths crossed that own time, I did not know her name or who she was. It was not until I went to the hospital that I understood everything that had happened. At that time, Shiyun told me that if I did not want to raise the children, she could do it herself. But as a man, especially since the children she bore are mine, how could I not raise my own children? We only came together because of the kids, but we can cultivate our feelings slowly. Shiyun is so beautiful. It would be a lie to say I do not like her. Merged into 141. After hearing my story, Jing smiled gracefully. That is good. You do not need to worry about Auntie's side. I am very satisfied with you. Since these things have already happened, I won't try to break you two up. I came here this time to see you and the babies. The thought of becoming a grandmother makes me very happy. Hearing Jing's words, I breathed a sigh of relief. It seemed Auntie did not blame us after all. Arriving at room 302, I opened the door with the key. Liu Shiyun's gaze immediately turned toward the door. When she saw that familiar figure, her eyes suddenly turned red. She called out weakly, "Mom." Hearing her daughter's voice, and seeing her like this, Jing's eyes also turned red. Alright, do not cry. Mom is right here. Chu Keqing and I were sensible enough not to disturb the mother-daughter reunion. Mom, why did you suddenly come here? Liu Shiyun asked with a sob, her eyes still red. You are a grown woman and you are still whimpering. If I had not come, I would not have known you would already had 2 children, or that you would found such a handsome man. Mom, this whole thing was my fault. You won't blame Lin Xingyu, will you? Blame him? How could I not? I blame him for whisking away the precious cabbage our family raised. Jing said with a smile. Hearing my mother-in-law say that, I rubbed my head in embarrassment. Auntie, please have a seat. I will get you a glass of water. Jing nodded with a smile, then looked at her daughter. You did not even tell your mother about the pregnancy. If Keqing had not told me, I still would not know you had babies. Mom, I just did not want you to worry. Besides, at that time at home, Liu Shiyun's face filled with disappointment as she spoke. Jing looked at her daughter and sighed. At that time, she had been fighting with her husband and threatening to get a divorce. She had not realized that during that time, the one suffering the most was her own daughter. I brought over a glass of water and handed it to Jing. Auntie, have some water first. But Xingyu, do not keep busy. Sit down and chat with me. Okay, Auntie. I gave a slight nod and sat down beside Liu Shiyun. I pretty much understand the situation between you two now. Xingyu also mentioned getting the marriage certificate after your recovery month. I plan to stay here for a few days this time. Xingyu, how far away do your parents live from here? Jing also planned to meet my parents during this visit. Of course, if they were too far away, she would let it be. Auntie, my parents do not live very far from here. It is only about a half-hour drive away. If you want to meet them, I will give them a call in a bit and ask them to come over. Since Liu Shiyun was still in her recovery month, it was not right for me to leave her, so the best way was to have my parents come here. No, there is no need for that much trouble yet. I will be staying here for a few days anyway. We will see how things go. Shiyun, take Mom to see my grandchildren. Okay, Mom. Liu Shiyun got up and led her mother into the bedroom. Entering the bedroom and seeing the 2 little cuties in the crib, An affectionate look appeared on Zheng Jing's face. So these are my grandchildren, they are so adorable. It had to be said that although the two little ones had not been born long, their skin was no longer as wrinkled as it was at birth. The baby's cheeks now looked very fair and tender. From the first moment she saw them, Zheng Jing loved them immensely. Shiyun, do the little treasures have names? Mom, the older own is Lin Xingyu. He has a bit less hair than his sister, Xiqiu and Siluo. These are very nice names. After repeating the names, Zheng Jing was very satisfied with them. While they were talking, the two little ones in the crib started whimpering softly. Then the little guys opened their eyes dizzily. Seeing the two little ones wake up, Zheng Jing smiled gracefully. She said in a gentle voice, "Little treasures, you are awake, I am your grandmother." Clearly, the two little ones could not understand a word Zheng Jing was saying, nor did they understand what a grandmother was. "Come on, be good and let grandma hold you." After speaking to the babies, Zheng Jing reached out to pick them up. But to the babies, they did not recognize this grandmother. They only felt she was a stranger. When they saw her reach out her hands, the two little ones pouted and began to cry. "Oh, why are you crying? Babies, do not cry. I am your grandmother, I won't hurt you." Hearing the babies' cries, Zheng Jing suddenly panicked. "Mom, the babies are still small and they are not familiar with you yet. Once they get to know you, they will let you hold them." When Keqing arrived yesterday, the babies also cried the first time they saw her. "Is that so? Then I won't hold them now. I will wait until we are familiar to hold them." "Babies, did you hear that? Do not cry, okay? Auntie, let me do it." When I heard the children crying, I also came from the living room to the bedroom door. "Treasures, Daddy is here. Do not cry. Come, let Daddy hold you." The two little ones were in their father's arms, staring at him with their dark, round eyes. In an instant they stopped crying. Zheng Jing was momentarily stunned. Lin Xingyu was really something. The moment he appeared, the two little ones seemed to find their support and stopped fussing immediately. This clearly showed that I truly loved these two children. "You stay with the kids. Mom will head out first." Zheng Jing sensibly said a word and left the bedroom. Liu Shiyun and I looked at each other and shared a smile. At this moment, Liu Shiyun also breathed a sigh of relief. She had originally thought her mother's visit would involve scolding both me and her, but she had not expected her mother to be so satisfied with me. When my mother-in-law showed up at our door, not only did she not break my legs, but she also became my ultimate wingman in winning over her daughter. "This boy Xingyu is indeed very good. He is handsome, he can cook, and he treats you and the babies very well. Good men like him are hard to find nowadays. Shiyun, you must hold on to him tightly." Hearing her mother's words, Liu Shiyun's pretty face flushed red. "Auntie, the food Lin Xingyu cooks really tastes incredible. It is even better than the food I ate at those 5-star hotels, by a wide margin." Beside them, Chu Keqing continued to speak up for me. "After all, if you eat someone's food, your mouth softens. And the food I made was indeed delicious." Hearing Chu Keqing's words, my mother-in-law smiled and nodded. She had watched this girl grow up and knew Chu Keqing inside and out. This girl's personality was straightforward. She said things exactly as they were and never lied. Last night, I was even joking with Shiyun, saying that if, in the future, I could also find such an excellent husband, that would be wonderful. My mother-in-law smiled and replied, "Then you must work hard and strive to let your mother hold grandchildren soon too." When the meal was ready and brought to the table 3 meat dishes and 3 vegetarian dishes, my mother-in-law looked at the nutritious meal I had specially prepared for her daughter and was extremely satisfied. When she tasted my cooking, her eyes lit up. Her expression was basically the same as Chu Keqing's when she tasted my cooking for the first time yesterday. Seeing my mother-in-law's astonished expression, I quickly asked, "Auntie, how is it? Does the food suit your taste?" It suits me perfectly. Xingyu, the food you make is truly delicious." Being able to satisfy my mother-in-law made me very happy as well. "If you like it, Auntie, please eat more." The family joyfully finished lunch together. When it came to the dishes, my mother-in-law insisted on helping no matter what. According to her logic, since I cooked the meal, it was only natural for her to help wash the dishes. If it were not for the fact that her daughter was still in her recovery month and should not touch cold water, she would have had her daughter help me. After finishing the cleanup, my mother-in-law and I prepared to go out and buy some maternity and baby supplies. "Keqing, I will leave Shiyun in your care. Do you need me to bring anything back for you?" Chu Keqing waved her hands repeatedly. No need to bring me anything." "All right then, wife, Auntie and I are heading out. Be safe on the road." Liu Shiyun watched as my mother-in-law and I left the apartment. She truly looked like a gentle and caring wife. My mother-in-law and I arrived at the parking spot downstairs. My mother-in-law looked at the Mercedes-Benz Yus. This must be the car Keqing told her I had bought. Xingyu, is this the car you bought? I smiled and nodded. Yes, and I bought this car with my own money. Auntie, please get in. But my mother-in-law sat in the passenger seat, looking at the space inside a total of 7 seats. The interior space of this car is quite large. In the future, when the babies are a bit older, you can buy 2 child safety seats. Placing the babies in the safety seats will make traveling much more convenient for you guys. I see, I understand now, Auntie. Thank you for telling me this, I said with a face full of gratitude. After all, this was my first time raising children, and I was not familiar with these things. It is nothing, no need to be so polite. By the way, Auntie wanted to ask, are you working now? What does your family do? In the car, my mother-in-law continued to speak. I have not started working yet. My family runs a clothing store, selling clothes. The business is decent. Hearing my answer, my mother-in-law thought to herself, a family running a clothing store, while not immensely wealthy, should not be too badly off either. Then which university did you graduate from? Auntie, I graduated from Fudan University. Fudan University, that is the best university here in Modu. That meant this boy's academic performance must be outstanding. If he could afford to buy a car with his own money, it meant he was at least doing quite well in life. And she had seen their current residence too, that 2-bedroom, 2-living-room apartment probably cost over 10,000 yuan a month. My mother-in-law even thought that if I could not find a good job, it would be better for me to go help her at her company. By the way, Xingyu, Auntie also has a company. If, after Shiyun finishes her recovery month, you want to find a job, you can come help Auntie at her company. In her eyes, I was already her son-in-law, and would not her company eventually be passed down to her son-in-law? Although I knew Liu Shiyun's family conditions were quite good, I did not expect her family to actually run a company, so that meant my own wife was quite wealthy. According to Auntie's implication, did not that mean even if I did not look for a job in the future? After a moment of thought, I neither refused nor agreed immediately. Auntie, let us talk about it when the time comes. For now, my priority is to stay at home and take good care of Shiyun. Alright then. If you encounter any difficulties in the future, just tell me. Auntie will help you. The more she looked at me, this son-in-law of hers, the more satisfied she became. Soon, the two of us arrived at the maternity and baby store. The female clerk looked at such a handsome young man, accompanying a woman in her 30s, and was instantly stunned. This young man looked so handsome. Could he be a kept man by the woman beside him? My mother-in-law noticed the clerk's gaze was somewhat off, and immediately frowned. She had seen many people in her life, and could naturally tell what some were thinking. Clearly, coming to the maternity store with her son-in-law had been misunderstood by this female clerk. Hello, we are here to buy some things. Okay, the female clerk snapped back to reality and hurried forward. The female clerk glanced at my mother-in-law. Could it be that he is not a kept man, but they are actually a married couple? Such a handsome young man actually found a woman in her 30s. I admire that. Xingyu with this wonderful tool. Yuan Shiyun won't both have to wake up in the middle of the night to feed the babies. Hearing my mother-in-law's explanation, I smiled and nodded. Okay, Auntie, I understand. Hearing our conversation, the female clerk instantly understood. So this woman who looked to be in her 30s was this handsome young man's auntie. My mother-in-law also bought several sets of baby clothes for the older and younger babies, as well as a few small toys for them. She took these items to the front counter. Auntie, let me do it. I took out my phone, ready to pay. How can I let you pay? I am buying clothes for my grandchildren. I originally planned to pay for all the clothes my mother-in-law had picked out, but she stopped me. Seeing us leave, the clerk from earlier finally breathed a sigh of relief. She had not expected to make such a huge misunderstanding today. However, that young man was truly handsome. It was a pity he already had kids so early. Is this the reality of handsome young men? Are they all already taken? In the living room, Chu Keqing and I sat on separate sofas. As for chatting, Chu Keqing found that she seemed to have nothing to talk to me about. Speaking of our relationship, she had only known me for a day. She was not clear on what kind of person I truly was. However, she could do some digging for her best friend. Lin Xingyu, I have a question I want to ask you. What is it? Go ahead and ask. Hearing Chu Keqing's words, I nodded doubtfully. Well, have you ever had a girlfriend before? Of course, it is fine if you do not want to answer. I'm just asking casually. Hearing this, I smiled. I thought Chu Keqing was going to ask me something serious, but it was just about whether I had a girlfriend before. I shook my head slightly. No, I have not dated before. Never dated, but you are so handsome. Were not there any girls at school who chased after you? Chu Keqing looked at me skeptically. There were indeed girls who chased me before, but I rejected them all at that time. I am telling the truth, I really have not had a girlfriend. When I was in school, I only wanted to focus on studying. I did not have many thoughts about dating. I was even teased by my roommates back then, asking if I did not like women. Actually, Shiyun has not had a boyfriend either. She has not even held a man's hand. This is also because Shiyun's family has very strict upbringing rules. Although Shiyun's family is very well off, when it comes to raising a daughter, uncle and auntie educated Shiyun very well. By the way, I heard Auntie say today that Shiyun's family runs a company. What is the name of the company? I did not want to ask my mother-in-law in the car, so now is a good time to ask Chu Keqing. The company, Xingchen Group, have you heard of it? Chu Keqing spoke very casually, but when the name reached my ears, it was a different story. Xingchen Group, I have heard of it. This company is among the top 5 corporate groups in Modu. That is right. This company was started together by auntie and uncle. I looked at Chu Keqing in surprise. I knew Liu Shiyun's family conditions must be very good, but I did not expect her family's company to actually rank 4th in Modu. The baby's mother's family was way too rich, was not it? Although I had also, through the system, received shares in a company as a reward, the ranking of that company did not even break into the top 10 corporate groups in Modu, and being in the top 10 in Modu meant it was already very strong nationally. That is all in the past now. Later, after uncle and auntie had some conflicts, auntie started another company herself. Although it is not as powerful as Xingchen Group, it is still very impressive. It ranks in the top 20 here in Modu, and it is called Chenmei. How about it? Your wife is a wealthy woman, you know. Are you very happy hearing this? Chu Keqing gave a playful smile as she watched my reaction. To be honest, hearing you say all this, I am actually a bit envious. But that is it. I believe that I can make Shiyun live an even better life through my own efforts. After all, I am a man with a system. Hearing my answer, Chu Keqing was somewhat surprised. She had originally thought that after knowing Liu Shiyun's family background, I would definitely be ecstatic. After all, I was able to marry such a wealthy wife. But she had not expected me to say that I would rely on myself to give Liu Shiyun a better life. Chu Keqing smiled. Then you must work hard. Do not worry, I will. At this moment, I wore a confident smile on my face. Even without a system, I felt I could create our own happiness with my own hands. After dinner, my mother-in-law suddenly spoke up. It is getting late. Xingyu, take me downstairs in a bit. I will go find a hotel to rest for the night. Auntie, we have a spare bed at home. Why go out to find a hotel? Hearing this, I quickly spoke up. Beside me, Liu Shiyun also chimed in. Yes, Mom, we have an extra bed at home. Why go out and stay in a hotel? Auntie, you can sleep in my room tonight. I will sleep on the sofa. There is no need to go to a hotel. How could we let you sleep on the sofa? How about this? Shiyun, tonight you share a room with Lin Xingyu, and I will share a room with Auntie. At this moment, Chu Keqing suddenly voiced her suggestion. Hearing this, how could Liu Shiyun not understand why her mother had said that? It was definitely her best friend, whispering in her mother's ear. Since things had reached this point, what else could Liu Shiyun do? She could only agree. Then Mom, you share a room with Keqing. 1. I will share a room with Lin Xingyu. Hearing her daughter agree, my mother-in-law clapped her hands happily. Then it is happily decided. Looking at Liu Shiyun's nervous face, I smiled faintly. How about I sleep on the sofa tonight? And no need, this room is quite big. There is no need to make you sleep on the sofa in the living room. Annie, I am right, are not I? Shiyun will definitely accept it. At this moment, Chu Keqing was in the room, whispering with my mother-in-law. Yes, they have babies now, and they will get their marriage certificate after Shiyun's recovery month. It makes no sense for them to sleep in separate rooms. From what I can tell, this boy Xingyu is excellent. He can cook, he is handsome, and he can even make money. Plus, the tenderness he shows towards Shiyun and the babies. Speaking from experience, I know. In this day and age, a good man like him is hard to find even if you search with a lantern. Yes, Lin Xingyu is indeed a very good person. To be honest, I am a bit envious of Shiyun for being able to find such a good man. Since you are back in the country now, it is time for you to find a boyfriend too. Auntie, we were talking about Shiyun and Xingyu. How did the topic suddenly shift to me? I just returned. My main priority right now is finding a job. Alright then, we won't talk about you. Another day, after I meet Xingyu's parents, we will discuss their wedding and set a date first. When Shiyun gets married, I want to be a bridesmaid, but does uncle know about this yet? What does it matter whether he knows or not? As long as I know, it is fine. Speaking of this, Jing Xiujing's face darkened, and she let out a soft harumph. Auntie, you have been married for so many years. Uncle definitely knows he was wrong, so you should just forgive him. Chu Keqing knew uncle's personality. He was the type who could be quite foolish and stubborn, and as a niece figure, she naturally hoped auntie and uncle's relationship would thaw and return to how it used to be. However, it seemed there was still a long way to go before that happened. She just wondered, once uncle knew Shiyun had children, and that he had grandchildren, would his attitude change? For now, Chu Keqing did not know the answer to these things either. In the bedroom, Liu Shiyun sat on the edge of the bed, lost in thought. She looked at the two sleeping babies and murmured to herself, "Babies, do you like daddy? If daddy and mommy got married, would you be very happy? Now mommy is going to share a room with daddy. If you wake up at night and see mommy and daddy sleeping together, will you be very happy too?" The babies were still sleeping, and they could not speak anyway, even if they heard Liu Shiyun's words. The two little ones had no way to answer. Half an hour later, I finished washing up and walked in from the living room. I saw Liu Shiyun standing by the baby's crib, whispering something. Seeing that I had returned, Liu Shiyun glanced at me, wondering nervously if I had heard what she was just saying. If he heard it, what would he think? It is getting late. Let us go to bed early. Under the covers, Liu Shiyun's small hands clutched the hem of her clothes. She did not meet my gaze, staring instead at the ceiling. Her breathing was rapid, making it obvious just how tense she was right now. The lights in the bedroom were turned off. Listening to Liu Shiyun's breathing, I shifted my hand under the covers and gently brushed against her small hand, startled by my sudden touch. Liu Shiyun's hand trembled slightly from nervousness. Her entire body tensed up even more. However, the next sentence made Liu Shiyun relax completely. "Go to sleep." Hearing my gentle voice, Liu Shiyun, whose mind had been running wild, suddenly felt a sense of calm. Around 2 in the morning, the babies started whimpering in the crib. The moment I heard their voices, I woke up from my sleep. I turned on the bedroom light, got out of bed and walked over to the crib. I saw the two little ones in the crib, staring with their dark, round eyes. When they saw their daddy appear, the two little ones cooed softly. "Do not cry, daddy is here." I reached out and gently stroked the heads of the two little ones. Hearing my voice, Liu Shiyun sat up groggily. She rubbed her eyes and saw me standing by the crib. The babies must have woken up. As that thought flashed through her mind, Liu Shiyun's drowsiness vanished instantly. "Husband, are the babies awake?" "They're awake." "You go back to sleep. I will go heat up the milk stored in the fridge. I can feed the babies. Besides, it is the middle of the night. There is no need to heat up the stored milk." As she spoke, Liu Shiyun came over to the babies. "Babies, mommy is here." Seeing that mommy had arrived, the two little ones waved their little hands in the crib. That look clearly meant they wanted to eat. When the two little ones finally got their milk, they let out satisfied sounds, and then fell asleep peacefully. I looked at the adorable appearance of the two little ones. Regarding this kind of life, I felt incredibly content to have a son, a daughter, and a beautiful wife. When I woke up around 8 in the morning, I felt my body being hugged tightly, as if by an octopus. At this moment, Liu Shiyun also groggily woke from her dreams. Then she realized her arms were wrapped around mine, and her face instantly filled with embarrassment. Just then my mother-in-law's voice came from outside. "Shiyun, Xingyu, are you two up yet?" Liu Shiyun was startled, and quickly answered, "Mom, we are up, we are up." "Oh, you are up? Then get washed up. It is almost time to eat." "Okay, got it." Seeing that her mother did not open the door and come in, Liu Shiyun breathed a sigh of relief. If her mom had opened the door and come in, and seen them like this, she probably would not have the courage to step out of the bedroom for the rest of the day. Mom said it is time to eat. We should get up. We also have to feed the two babies in a bit." "Wife, what are you supposed to call me?" I did not move, but instead looked at Liu Shiyun with a teasing smile. Liu Shiyun's gaze darted around, avoiding mine. "Husband." "Exactly, you should call me husband. From now on, whether at home or outside, you have to call me husband, understand?" I said in a very domineering tone. Hearing my domineering tone, Liu Shiyun let out a soft "I understand, husband." She did not actually resist this title. It was just that sometimes, in front of her mom, she felt too shy to call me that. but now she felt it was not impossible. After all, we would be getting our marriage certificate soon. And her mom also approved of this son-in-law. Uncle and auntie also acknowledged her as their daughter-in-law. As long as I continued to treat her this well in the future, then I would be her husband for the rest of her life. Come, let me comb your hair. I stepped forward and took Liu Shiyun's small hand, leading her to the dressing table. After having her sit down, I picked up the comb and started brushing her hair. Liu Shiyun looked at me standing behind her in the mirror, combing her hair for her. This moment was filled with an atmosphere of warmth and sweetness. Liu Shiyun's hair was very long, as well as very smooth and elegant. It was my first time combing Liu Shiyun's hair, so the hairstyle was not very pretty. Even though it did not look that great, Liu Shiyun was very happy, because this was the first time I had combed her hair. Husband, have you ever combed other girls' hair before? For some reason, Liu Shiyun suddenly asked this question. When I was little, I only combed my mom's hair. Now that I am grown, I have only combed your hair. I understood why she was asking this. She definitely wanted to know if I had a girlfriend before. I smiled faintly. I have not had a girlfriend before. Speaking of which, there is only you, who went straight from being a girlfriend to being a wife. Liu Shiyun's face turned red with satisfaction. I have not had a boyfriend either. Is not that perfect? Neither of us has any experience with dating. We can absolutely date, while taking care of the babies together. What do you think? Emichim, I think that sounds great. Let us go, it is time to eat breakfast. Mom is still waiting for us outside. She proactively took my hand and walked out of the bedroom. When my mother-in-law saw the two of us come out, holding hands to boot, she nodded in satisfaction. The relationship between her daughter and son-in-law was getting better and better. Her family was not short of money, as long as her daughter could find a man who treated her very well, and truly loved her. How could she, as a mother, not be satisfied? After eating breakfast, I took out my phone and sent a message to my mom. Mom, Shiyun's mother arrived yesterday. She wants to meet you and Dad and have a chat. Not long after I sent it, my mom replied, our in-law is here. We are a bit busy at home today, so we can't come over. How about this? We will come over tomorrow morning. Give Mom Shiyun's mother's contact information. Mom will message her later to apologize. Okay, wait a moment. I walked over to my mother-in-law. Auntie, I told my mom you are here. But my mom said they are quite busy at home today, so they will come over tomorrow morning. It is fine, it is fine. Auntie will be staying here for a few days anyway. Your parents can come whenever it is convenient for them. Zheng Jing naturally understood. After all, when she came over, she had not informed us in advance. My parents naturally did not know either. She could not exactly expect them to abandon their business, just to rush over to see her. Auntie, my mom would like your contact information. Contact info. You do not have Auntie's contact info either. You add Auntie first, and then you can give it to your mom. Alright, let us do that. After my mother-in-law and I exchanged contact info, I passed it on to my mom. My mom immediately added my mother-in-law as a friend. In-law, I am so sorry. Our business is very busy today, so we can't come over. We will come over early tomorrow morning. It is alright, please do not rush. I did not tell Xingyu and the others before I came, so naturally you did not know either. Take care of your business at home first. I will be staying here for a few extra days. Just come over whenever you have the time. If anything, my sudden visit has ended up disturbing you. My mom read my mother-in-law's reply. Although they had not met yet, from these few sentences, she knew Shiyun's mother was a reasonable woman. She smiled slightly. Alright, in-law. Thank you for your understanding. We will come over tomorrow morning. When we meet, we can have a proper chat. My mother-in-law knew my mom was still busy, so they did not chat for too long. After they finished chatting, she waved me over. Auntie, what is it? I walked over and sat down next to my mother-in-law, looking puzzled. Although Auntie has only interacted with you for a little over a day, Auntie can tell that you treat Shiyun and the babies with utmost sincerity. Auntie is very satisfied with all of this, and feels at ease leaving Shiyun in your care. Look, after Shiyun finishes her recovery month, you guys will be getting your marriage certificate, and tomorrow, I plan to discuss your wedding with your parents. So, should not you change how you address me now? With that, my mother-in-law looked at me with a beaming smile. She was extremely satisfied with me as her son-in-law. So now, she was looking forward to her son-in-law changing how he addressed her. Hearing my mother-in-law's words, I smiled faintly. I was going to marry Liu Shiyun anyway. Changing how I addressed her now or later was the same thing. I did not hesitate and immediately changed my address, calling out, mother-in-law. Hearing me change my address and call her mother-in-law, Zheng Jing was overjoyed. Although our family has good conditions, Shiyun, this girl, was not raised to be spoiled and pampered since childhood. She is a sensible child. She knows what she should and should not do. Mom also wishes that you two can walk hand in hand until you grow old. If you encounter any problems in the future that you can't solve yourselves, you can tell Mom. Mom will help you figure out a way. If my girl suddenly throws a temper tantrum or something, you can also tell Mom and I will scold her for you. I will also always be good to Shiyun and the babies, please rest assured. Being recognized by my mother-in-law made me incredibly happy as well. My parents learned that my mother-in-law had shown up at our door. Early the next morning, they came over to discuss our wedding. Xingyu, your parents are coming soon. Mom will head out to buy some groceries in a bit. Mother-in-law, let me go. You are a guest. How can I trouble you with such a chore? No need, it is fine if I go. Besides, the market is close by. Kiching, do you want to go out with me? Sure, Auntie, I would like to go for a walk too. Shiyun, Auntie and I are heading out. Do you need me to bring anything back for you? No, I am good. Be careful on your way, both of you. With that, my mother-in-law and Chu Kiching grabbed their things and left the apartment. Husband, what is wrong? Liu Shiyun looked at me, frowning slightly. She did not know what I was thinking about. It is nothing, I just feel that this apartment is a bit too small. Should we start thinking about buying a house? Buying a house? Liu Shiyun thought about it and agreed. When Uncle and Auntie come over today, we only have 2 rooms here. If they were to stay the night, we simply do not have any spare rooms. Husband, if you are planning to buy a house, I have also saved up some money over the years. Once I finish my recovery month, how about we go look at houses together? Do not worry, your husband has the money to buy a house. How could I use your money? My wife's money is for her to spend on herself. Hearing Liu Shiyun's words, I felt a warmth in my heart. I walked over and looked at her tenderly. I actually had quite a bit of money in my account right now. At the very least, paying a down payment would be no problem at all. But I was very happy that my wife thought this way. What did this prove? It proved that I was in her heart. But we have the babies now. You have paid for everything we have bought so far without using any of my money. You can't be the only one paying for the house too. Liu Shiyun was telling the truth. Ever since I appeared in her life, she had not had the chance to spend a single cent. I had paid for everything. The babies are my children too. If I also pitch in, then this home will be a home that Mommy and Daddy gave to the babies together. There is no rush for this. It is just an idea I have right now. We can think about the details slowly. Your main priority right now is to rest peacefully during your recovery month. After you finish your recovery, I will take you out to have some fun. Wherever you want to go, your husband will take you. I coaxed Liu Shiyun as if coaxing a child. Okay, Liu Shiyun gave me a sweet smile. She could not help but sigh at her great taste in men. 10 minutes later, my mother-in-law and Chu Kiching returned home carrying groceries and fruit. Seeing them back, I quickly went over to help. After putting the meat and such in the fridge and finishing up, I heard the notification sound on my phone. I pulled out my phone and saw it was a message from my mom. Mother-in-law, Shiyun, my parents are here. I will go down and bring them up. Alright, go ahead. My mother-in-law nodded with a smile. She was also looking forward to meeting my parents. Shiyun, what are Xingyu's parents like? Are they easy to talk to? Actually, she was a bit nervous herself. She did not know what kind of people her in-laws were. If they were difficult to get along with, her daughter might suffer after marrying into their family. So, taking advantage of my absence, she asked her daughter, Mom, Uncle and Auntie are very good to me, and they are very easy to talk to, do not worry. Liu Shiyun smiled faintly, seeing that her daughter did not seem to be lying. My mother-in-law nodded and relaxed a bit. As long as she was not some wicked mother-in-law and was easy to get along with, that was fine. Her daughter's happiness was more important than anything. At the main gate of the complex, I met my parents. Xingyu, what is your mother-in-law like? Is she easy to talk to? My mom knew Liu Shiyun's family had good financial conditions. Regarding a family wealthier than ours, my mom naturally had some concerns. Would Shiyun's mother look down on us? Because our family is relatively poor. Seeing my mom's nervous expression, I comforted her, Mom, do not worry. My mother-in-law is very easy to talk to. Although Shiyun's family conditions are very good, my mother-in-law treats me very well. She did not look down on me just because our family's conditions are not as good as theirs. She was even the one who told me to call her mother-in-law. She is extremely satisfied with your son. After hearing my words, not only my mom but my dad also breathed a sigh of relief. It seemed that when the in-law came over and saw how well their son treated her daughter, she was satisfied. You kid, once you got a mother-in-law, you forgot about your mom, right? If you had not told us yesterday, we would not have even known our in-law was here. If we had known earlier, we would have put off our business and come over yesterday. Mom, my mother-in-law arrived suddenly. Shiyun and I did not know either, and when she first arrived, I did not know what her attitude would be. I could not exactly tell you guys right then. And have you come over to put in a good word for me, right? Originally, I planned to tell you, after my mother-in-law had stayed for a few days. But she said she wanted to meet you and have a chat. So she asked me to see when you would have the time. Our family of 3 arrived at the 3rd floor. I opened the door and led my parents inside. When Liu Shiyun saw my parents walk in, she hurriedly stood up. Uncle, Auntie, you are here. You too must be Xingyu's parents. My mother-in-law also stood up and walked over to my mom and dad. Hello, we are Xingyu's parents. My dad looked at my mother-in-law and hesitated for a moment. Regarding what happened with my son. The fault lies with him. Today we as his parents are here. However you want to deal with my son, we will accept it. Hearing this, my mom immediately glared at her husband. How could he speak like that? In-law, when Ba is right. The fault truly lies with my son. However you wish to punish my son is fine with us. Hearing their words, my mother-in-law remained silent for a moment. Then she smiled gracefully. In-laws, please do not be so nervous. At first, before I met Xingyu, when I heard my daughter had suddenly given birth, I was indeed very angry. But after interacting with him, I realized this boy Xingyu is truly excellent. He treats my daughter very well. I only have this own daughter. If she can find a man who loves her, as a mother, I am not unreasonable. Seeing my daughter happy is enough for me. I did not ask you to come over this time to discuss how to punish Xingyu. That is good, that is very good. Hearing this, my mom nodded happily. I am also very satisfied with Xingyu. So the reason I asked you to come over today is to discuss with you about Xingyu and Shiyun's wedding. A wedding regarding this matter. The two of us had actually discussed it before. At that time, we even said that after Shiyun's recovery month, we would personally visit your home to apologize. My mother-in-law nodded. If you ask me, both children were at fault, but since they are together now, and both children have the intention to marry, then for the wedding, I also plan to discuss it with you, and finalize the details. Then, in-law, when do you think the wedding date should be set? Regarding this matter, we should all discuss it together. So, we still have to ask for Xingyu and Shiyun's opinions. Shiyun, Xingyu, when do you plan to hold the wedding? Hearing this, Liu Shiyun was slightly stunned. She did not know how to answer, so she could only look at me, completely treating me as the head of the household. I thought for a moment, well, since mom asked us, how about we get married after the Lunar New Year this year? What do you think? Hearing my question, Liu Shiyun nodded shyly. I am fine with that. Dad, Mom, Mother-in-law, what do you think? Can we set the wedding date for right after the preliminary Eve Xiaoyan? There is still about 3 months until then. I think that works. In-law, what do you think? My mother-in-law naturally raised both hands in favor of my decision. In her eyes, the sooner her daughter and son-in-law married, the better. Once they officially became husband and wife, their status would be set in stone. Additionally, my mother-in-law was thinking that when her daughter and son-in-law got married, as her mother-in-law, should not she give her son-in-law a house as a wedding gift? That works, in-laws, we completely agree. Then the time for the wedding is decided. It will be right after the preliminary Eve Xiaoyan, but we will pick the exact date later. My mother-in-law smiled. No problem. Then the next thing is to discuss the betrothal gift. Upon hearing the words betrothal gift, my parents immediately sat up straight. Given Liu Shiyun's family background, they had no idea how much this betrothal gift would be. If it was a few $100,000, our family could still manage to scrape it together. But if they asked for $1 million, they would have to grit their teeth and borrow from relatives and friends. After all, current betrothal gifts in the country, for ordinary people, in some places, could completely drain an ordinary family's life savings. And in other cases, even if the family had money and could afford the betrothal gift, they still had to buy a car, a house, and so on. That could easily empty out a family's finances too. My parents remembered a family back in our hometown to marry the bride. Not only did they give a 300,000 yuan betrothal gift, but the bride's family also demanded they buy a car and a house. That couple originally had quite a bit of savings, but because of their son's marriage, their savings were completely wiped out. So nowadays, many people turn pale at the mere mention of betrothal gifts. Regarding the betrothal gift, I am extremely satisfied with this boy, Xingyu. Now that Xingyu calls me mother-in-law, He is essentially half a son to me. So for the betrothal gift, you only need to give 66,000 yuan. After all, 66 means everything goes smoothly. Lu de shun. In-laws, what do you think? Only 66,000. My mom and dad were completely stunned when they heard this. They originally thought it would be at least a few 100,000 no matter what. They never expected the in-law to only ask for 66,000. In-laws, what is wrong? Are you dissatisfied with this betrothal gift? I can lower it a bit more. No, in-law, that is not what we mean. We just feel that this betrothal gift is a bit too little. My mom hastily waved her hands and spoke. In-law, I will say it again. Seeing my daughter happy is enough for me as a mother. So this betrothal gift is just symbolic, a small token. In-law, please rest assured about this. My son will definitely treat Shiyun very well. If he dares to treat Shiyun badly, you do not even have to say anything. Once I find out as his mother, I will definitely teach him a lesson. Son, do you hear me? You must treat Shiyun well. Mom, you do not even need to say it. I will definitely treat Shiyun well. She is my wife and the mother of my children. A woman like her is hard to find even if you search with a lantern. And just like that, the parents from both sides happily finalized the details of the wedding date and the betrothal gift. Daughter, Mom is planning to head back today. Hearing this, Liu Shiyun was stunned. Mom, so soon, why not stay a few more days? Seeing that you and Xingyu have such a good relationship, and that Xingyu treats you so well. As a mother, I am extremely satisfied with this son-in-law. So Mom feels at ease leaving you in Xingyu's care. However, even though Xingyu treats you well, you can't let him be the only one making efforts. You are in your recovery month now, so Mom won't say much. But after you finish your recovery, remember to be more understanding and share the load. Normally, when Xingyu cooks and does chores by himself, you can also go into the kitchen and help. Besides, a girl should also know how to cook. How does the saying go? The way to a man's heart is through his stomach. You need to learn how to cook too, and personally cook for your husband. Mom, I understand all of this. Also, neither you nor Xingyu have a job right now, which means no stable income. Mom noticed that during this time, it has mostly been Xingyu spending money. Later, Mom will transfer 100,000 yuan to you. Normally, you can also spend your own money to buy things for the babies and Xingyu. Do not let Xingyu bear all the expenses alone. You should also buy things for him. Mom, I have some money of my own. I have saved up quite a bit over the years. How much could you have saved? Mom will transfer 100,000 to you first. When you use it up, just tell Mom. Oh, by the way, when the babies are a bit older, why do not you come back and help Mom? About this matter. I need to discuss it with my husband. You definitely should discuss it with Xingyu. If you encounter any problems in the future, do not keep them to yourself. You have a family now. When things come up, discuss them more with Xingyu. Also, Xingyu's mother treats you very well. You, in turn, need to manage your relationship with your mother-in-law well. Mom knows that some families lack harmony, precisely because of issues between mothers-in-law and daughters-in-law. Mom, Auntie is very good to me. I will definitely be good to Auntie and Uncle too. Alright, Mom has said enough. Mom won't nag you anymore. If anything happens, remember to tell Xingyu, or you can tell Mom. Do not bottle things up. Have a safe trip. Liu Shiyun looked at her mother, her eyes filled with reluctance to part. Alright, Mom will come see you guys another day. Seeing the reluctance in her daughter's eyes. As a mother, how could she bear to leave? Witnessing their mother-daughter parting, I was also filled with deep emotion. I thought to myself that I should get the house sorted out sooner rather than later. Mother-in-law, let me see you off. Xingyu, I am leaving Shiyun in your care. If she suddenly throws a temper tantrum or something, please be patient with her. Mother-in-law, do not worry. Shiyun is not the type of girl who throws random tantrums. I believe in Liu Shiyun, just as Liu Shiyun believes in me. After seeing off my mother-in-law and Chu Kaching, I finally returned home. Looking at Liu Shiyun, I walked over to her side. Wife, what do you think about hosting a own month celebration party? When the babies reach their own month milestone. Sure, we can host the own month party then, and invite Uncle, Auntie, and Mom to come over. Liu Shiyun naturally agreed to this idea. Husband, Mom transferred 100,000 to me before she left, saying I should use it for now. I will transfer the money to you in a bit. No need. Hearing this, I raised an eyebrow, and quickly waved my hands. As your husband, even though I do not have a job right now, I still have savings. Keep the money Mom gave you. If we ever need it in the future, I will let you know. You do not need to worry about money. Your main priority is to rest peacefully during your recovery month. Once you finish your recovery, I will take you out shopping. Whatever you want to buy then, we will buy it. But I have been spending your money all along. Won't the burden be too heavy for you? You have to raise 2 babies and buy so many things. Seeing that my wife still wanted to say something, I spoke in a very domineering tone. Listen to your husband. I can handle all of this. As for the baby's own month party, I will tell my mom and the others tomorrow, and see how they plan to arrange it. Also, I think, wife, should not you change how you address them now? Look, I already call your mom, mother-in-law. My mother-in-law is my mom too. You can't keep calling my parents, uncle, and auntie. We are a family now. When uncle and auntie. No, wait, when mom and dad come over, I will change how I call them. Time passed quickly. In the blink of an eye, it was Saturday morning. My mom drove over to our place. This time, she brought 2 free-range chickens to properly nourish her daughter-in-law's body. Those chickens sold in the markets were mostly fed with commercial feed. How could they compare to free-range chickens from the countryside? Mom, it is great that you are here, but why bring so many things? I went downstairs to meet my mom. Seeing her carrying so many things, I shook my head and spoke. These things are all for Shiyun. Do not even think about having any. We definitely can't mistreat our daughter-in-law. So now that you have a daughter-in-law, you have forgotten about your son, right? I was amused by my mother's words. Shiyun is in her recovery month, and she has to breastfeed 2 babies. If she does not get enough nutrition, it is not good for the babies either. I smiled helplessly. Let me carry these things. After going back last time, your dad and I thought it over carefully. You guys are getting married after the Lunar New Year, so we decided we should buy you a bridal house. Have you considered buying a house recently? Mom, actually, regarding the house, Shiyun and I have thought about it. Mom, you and Dad do not need to worry, I still have some money. I can afford to pay for a house. Since you guys have this idea too, then during this upcoming period, take your time at home to look around and decide where you want to buy. Once you have thought it over, tell Mom and Dad. I nodded. But, Mom, the babies will reach their own month milestone soon. Shiyun and I are planning to host a own month party for them then. We do not need to invite too many friends. Just inviting you, Dad, my mother-in-law, Kuching, and a few others. To have a meal together will be enough. How can that be enough? When the babies have their own month party, Shiyun will also have finished her recovery month. Mom and Dad will personally host it for the babies, and we will invite our relatives to come have a meal together. It will also be a chance for Shiyun to meet the relatives. After all, the relatives do not know about you two yet. Liu Shiyun watched as I walked in with my mom. She quickly stood up. "Oh, you're here." Originally, she had called my mom auntie, but remembering what her husband had said a few days ago, she suddenly changed it and called her mom. Being suddenly called mom by Liu Shiyun, my mom was stunned for a moment. "Mom, what is wrong?" "Shiyun is calling you mom." Seeing my mother frozen in place, I gave her a reminder. "Oh, good girl, Shiyun, call me that one more time." My mom thought she had misheard and wanted to confirm it again. Liu Shiyun obediently called out mom once more. Good, 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 hearing her daughter-in-law suddenly call her mom. My mom could not hold back her overwhelming excitement. Last time when we were at their place, my mom had wanted Liu Shiyun to change how she addressed her, but at that time, Liu Shiyun's mother was also there, so she felt too embarrassed to bring it up. Now, hearing her daughter-in-law personally call her mom, she could not be happier. She took several hundred yuan bills from her bag, walked over to Liu Shiyun, and said, "Here, Shiyun, take this as a gift for changing how you address me." A gift for changing addresses is usually given on the day the couple gets married, but my mom was so excited now that she took it straight out. Looking at the money my mom suddenly handed her, Liu Shiyun was stunned. She felt it was not appropriate to accept it. "Shiyun, what is wrong? This is from mom, just take it." Seeing her daughter-in-law frozen, my mom spoke with a beaming smile. Seeing Liu Shiyun still hesitating, my mom continued. "You are calling me mom now. It is perfectly normal for a mother to give her daughter-in-law money. Alright, do not overthink it, just take it, take it. Since mom is giving it to you, just accept it." Standing by, I also smiled and chimed in. Alright then. Hearing both mom and her husband say so, Liu Shiyun had no choice but to accept it. "That is a good girl. Mom brought you 2 free-range chickens. You can use them to make soup." These 2 free-range chickens were bought by your dad from a village in the countryside. The babies are still small, and you need to replenish your nutrition, so we can raise the babies to be chubby and healthy. After chatting for a while, my mom went into the kitchen. I originally wanted to help, but my mom told me to go keep my wife company. "Husband, you should go help mom." "You do not need to keep me company. Mom can't handle it all by herself. If she was not in her recovery month right now, She would have gone to help Mom herself. I helplessly spread my hands. I want to help Mom too, but I was kicked out as soon as I went in. After stewing for just a little while, the aroma of the free-range chicken filled the entire apartment. It smells so good. Smelling the aroma of the free-range chicken, Liu Shiyun could not help but swallow. Smells good, right? Once it is done stewing, you can try the chicken meat and the soup. When I was little back in our hometown, I used to eat the free-range chickens we raised quite often. Around noon, the chicken was done stewing. After bringing out 3 bowls, I served Liu Shiyun a bowl of chicken soup first. Shiyun, eat a bit more. Xingyu fried 3 eggs for you. Make sure you eat them all later. These are free-range eggs. Their nutritional value is quite high. Hearing this, Liu Shiyun was stunned. You guys eat too? I only need one egg. How can that be? We have 2 babies at home. They both need to drink milk. You have to eat more. Mom, my husband already makes plenty of nutritious food for me normally. Mom, husband, you guys eat too. With that, Liu Shiyun picked up the eggs from her bowl and placed one each into my bowl and my mom's bowl. Alright, Mom will eat it. Looking at her daughter-in-law's gesture, my mom gave a gentle smile. Picking up our chopsticks, the family began to eat lunch. Liu Shiyun ate some chicken meat and some other dishes, and soon felt she could not eat anymore. Mom, I feel a bit full. How can that be? You have barely eaten anything. My mom gave her a look. She had only eaten a small bowl of rice, drank a little chicken soup, and had some chicken meat and an egg. Your appetite is still too small. Back in our day, a bowl just slightly smaller than this soup bowl, we could eat a whole bowl of rice from it. Hearing this, Liu Shiyun was absolutely shocked. You have to realize this soup bowl was twice the size of the small bowl she used for rice. That was just too impressive, was not it? Was this the legendary rice bucket big eater? Actually, ever since she got pregnant, she knew the babies needed nutrition, so she usually ate more than before. After all, she was not just own person anymore. She was the mother of the babies. She felt she was already eating quite a lot. Sweetie, normally, you should still try to eat a bit more food. After all, you have 2 little babies to feed now. I remember in the past, many families could not even get enough to eat. Back then, there was no money, so we could only let the babies drink rice porridge. The adults suffered, and the children suffered too. But it is different now. Life is much better than before. Normally, whatever you want to eat, just tell Xingyu, and have Xingyu buy it for you. Do not mistreat yourself or the children. Seeing my mom care for her so much, Liu Shiyun felt she had not married the wrong man. So she replied sweetly, Mom, I understand. I took Liu Shiyun to meet my future father-in-law. At this moment, the system's voice rang out. Congratulations to the host for successfully checking in. Reward, Coral Jade Artifact. Reward, 1% shares of Disney. Reward, 5% shares of Dao Xin. Hearing this, I was stunned. I had not expected the system to give rewards just for meeting my father-in-law. Madam, Miss, son-in-law, please take a seat. I will go pour you some water. No need, Uncle Zhang. Go upstairs and call that old geezer down. My mother-in-law shook her head. Very well, madam. I will go call the master right away. Hearing the madam call the master an old geezer, Uncle Zhang smiled bitterly, then went to the 2nd floor. Today, madam has returned with Miss and the son-in-law. I hope master will speak properly later. Feeling somewhat worried, Uncle Zhang arrived at the 2nd floor. Uncle Zhang, is something the matter? Seeing that Uncle Zhang had not spoken up today, Liu Juanhao asked curiously, Master. Madam has returned. Uncle Zhang spoke softly. She is back. She is back. She is back. Is there an issue? Hearing this, Liu Juanhao was visibly taken aback. His breathing also grew a bit tense. However, he still managed to ask calmly, Master, besides Madam, Miss has also returned, and the son-in-law is here too. Madam says Miss and the son-in-law have already gotten their marriage certificate, and they have brought 2 adorable little babies back with them. Liu Juanhao looked shocked. Uncle Zhang, you are not lying to me. Regarding his daughter returning with a husband, and even children, Liu Juanhao clearly did not believe it. Master, if you do not believe me, you can go downstairs and see for yourself. Madam and the others are downstairs right now. Alright, I understand. I will be right down. Liu Juanhao cleared his throat lightly. His expression turned serious as he walked ahead of Uncle Zhang. Hearing the footsteps coming downstairs, Liu Shiyun became a bit nervous. She glanced at me beside her and took a deep breath. She decided that if her father dared to scold her husband me later, she would step in front and protect me. With his arrival, the atmosphere in the room became delicate. Father Liu took off his jacket, draped it over a chair, and after sitting down, his gaze lingered on me for a few seconds. He found that this kid was not bad. In terms of looks, he was worthy of his daughter's beauty. As for his daughter, whom he had not seen in over a year, he noticed she was a bit plumper than before. It seemed that over the past year, his daughter had been living quite well under my care. If she had not been living well, she would not have gained this much weight. Who are you putting on an act for? My mother-in-law looked at Liu Shiyun, curled her lip, and said with a look of disgust, Master, madam, Miss, son-in-law, please have some tea. At this moment, Uncle Zhang walked over carrying tea, and placed the teacups in front of us. No one in the room spoke. Seeing Father Liu's demeanor, the smile on Liu Shiyun's face also gradually vanished. She even arrogantly turned her head to the side, completely ignoring her old father. This made Liu Shiyun's mood even worse. She was his own daughter, after all. He had not seen her once in a whole year. He thought that by coming over this time, his daughter would surely bring that kid to apologize to him. But his daughter actually gave him an attitude. This made him feel that his daughter had definitely been led astray by this brat. Otherwise, why would she act like this? I also noticed this delicate atmosphere. I immediately stood up, holding the coral jade artifact, and the Dahong Pao tea I had bought. Father-in-law, this is a gift your son-in-law bought for you. I hope you like it. As the saying goes, you do not hit a smiling face. Moreover, I directly addressed him as father-in-law right off the bat, instead of calling him uncle. This instantly caused Father Liu's expression to become complicated. Looking at the coral jade artifact in my hands, own glance was enough to tell it was expensive. It definitely could not be bought for less than $1 million. If he knew this was a system reward, who knows what he would think. Although he did not know my family background, being able to spend $1 million directly on this coral jade artifact for him was enough to prove my sincerity. Put it there. Liu Shiyun nodded slightly. Yes, father-in-law. But very quickly, the atmosphere reverted to how it was at the beginning. For a moment, I could not find a topic to break the ice either, since I was not familiar with this father-in-law. Seeing the situation, Uncle Zhang quickly stepped forward. He looked at Liu Shiyun and spoke up. Miss, why do not you tell us how you and the son-in-law met? Hearing Uncle Zhang's words, Father Liu also pricked up his ears. Regarding this daughter of his, he, as her father, knew her best. He remembered that at school, in other people's words, his daughter appeared very aloof, giving off a keep away from me vibe. He also wanted to know what method I used to win his daughter over. Grandpa Zhang, father-in-law, why do not you listen to me? Hearing this, I spoke up. Then I talked about how Liu Shiyun and I met, and what happened afterward. Then Liu Shiyun recounted our time at the hospital, and my meticulous care for her during this recent period. Listening to his daughter's account, and seeing the tender gaze she directed at me, Liu Shiyun understood that this daughter of his had fallen completely head over heels. He even believed that if he disagreed with them being together, his daughter would probably immediately take me and the babies and leave right then and there. No one knows a daughter better than her father. How could he, as an old father, not know what kind of personality his daughter had? He even noticed that the way my mother-in-law looked at me was as if she were looking at her own son. It made it seem like he was the only outsider in the family. Listening to his daughter's story, although his impression of me had improved somewhat, it would be a lie to say he was not angry inside. The daughter he had raised for over 20 years was suddenly snatched away by a stranger. Not only was he completely unaware of this, but his daughter and this man had even had 2 children together. Just then, the 2 little ones in the stroller were woken up by the voices. Upon hearing the baby's sounds, everyone immediately fell silent. Liu Shiyun and I went over to the stroller and saw the 2 little ones opening their eyes inside. Babies, you are awake. Liu Shiyun and I gently picked the 2 little babies up from the stroller. The little ones, having just woken up, looked groggy, which, combined with their soft pink cheeks, made them look even cuter. Looking at the appearance of these 2 little ones, Liu Shiyun had to admit that the 2 little babies were indeed incredibly adorable. Just looking at them made Owen want to hold them. Furthermore, these 2 little babies were his grandchildren. As the saying goes, love me, love my dog. Even if he did not acknowledge me as his son-in-law, these 2 little babies were born to his own daughter. The 2 little ones, held in their daddy's arms, looked curiously at their grandfather, and then babbled ya at him, as if greeting him. Babies, that is your grandpa. He is mommy's daddy too. Liu Shiyun explained to the 2 little treasures. Hearing their mommy's words, the little babies seemed to understand. Then, the corners of their mouths curved up slightly, and they smiled at their grandpa. Liu Shiyun watched as the 2 little ones actually smiled at him. At that moment, his cold heart seemed to melt completely. He also could not help but smile back at the two little ones. Seeing the two little babies actually smile at the grandfather they had just met, my mother-in-law felt a bit jealous. You must know that when she first went to her daughter and son-in-law's place, the two little ones had been a bit afraid of her, their grandmother. Could it be that the little babies knew their grandpa was going to lecture Lin Xingyu, so they were trying to curry favor with him? If that were really the case, then these two little babies were way too smart. Husband, the babies pooped. Seeing that the little one's pants were dirty, Liu Shiyun quickly spoke up. Madam, I will go prepare some warm water. Seeing this, Uncle Zhang hurriedly moved to prepare warm water. Watching them busy with the babies, Liu Juanhao sat on the sofa and sighed. He felt that the current situation actually seemed quite nice. Had he been wrong? At this moment, he was pondering whether he had truly been in the wrong. If he admitted his mistake and accepted this son-in-law, could his relationship with his mother-in-law and daughter return to how it used to be? After we finished changing the babies, I handed the younger baby in my arms to my mother-in-law. The little Own, held in her grandmother's arms, looked at her and seemed very happy. Sitting opposite them, Liu Juanhao watched my mother-in-law coaxing the little baby. It would be a lie to say he was not envious. He wanted to hold his grandchildren too. Seeing the envious look in her father's eyes, Liu Shiyun thought for a moment, then carried the older baby over to him. Dad, do you want to hold the bao? What? Can I? Seeing his daughter bring his grandson over, Liu Juanhao seemed a bit sheepish. Bao is a bit more timid and afraid of strangers. Bao is bolder. Dad, if you want to hold him, you can try. Hearing his daughter's words, and looking at the adorable Bao in her arms, a look of paternal love appeared on Liu Juanhao's face. Bao, let grandpa hold you. Yeah, Bao blinked his eyes, looking curiously at his grandfather. Taking the opportunity, Liu Shiyun carefully handed Bao over to her old father-in-law. Holding Bao in his arms, Liu Juanhao looked at the little guy's soft pink cheeks and his slightly chubby little hands, and felt more and more that his grandson was simply too adorable. Bao, in his grandfather's arms, stared at the beard on his grandfather's chin, then reached out his little hand wanting to grab it. Bao, you can't do that. Grandpa's beard is a bit prickly. Do not let it hurt you. Liu Juanhao shifted his body so that Bao could be even more comfortable in his arms. The tenderness on his face was impossible to hide. He looked exactly like a doting grandfather admiring his beloved grandson. Bao, Grandpa will take you for a walk around our house, okay? With that, Liu Juanhao stood up holding Bao and began to walk around the house. It was nearing noon, almost time to prepare lunch. My mother-in-law handed Bao over to Liu Shiyun. Shiyun, Xingyu, you two stay here with the babies. I will go prepare lunch. Mom, I will help you. Husband, you hold Bao. Liu Shiyun gently handed Bao to me. Although Liu Juanhao was relatively satisfied with this son-in-law, he still found it a bit hard to accept for the time being. At this moment, Bao in his arms was also getting sleepy. Father-in-law, hand him to me. These two little ones are just like this. When they are hungry, both will wake up at the same time. And even when they sleep together. Liu Juanhao nodded and handed Bao to me. He watched as I looked at my child with a face full of tenderness, and then carefully placed the child into the stroller. As an experienced parent, Liu Juanhao knew I was not putting on an act in front of him. It was obvious that I deeply loved my children. After I placed the children into the stroller, Liu Juanhao looked at the babies, then sat on the sofa. Have a seat too. I heard you have not found a job yet. Hearing my father-in-law's words, I knew the moment had come. I immediately replied, yes, father-in-law. I indeed do not have a job right now. While I do not know what your family conditions are like, as a young man, how can you not find a job? You must know that you have a wife and children now. Father-in-law, I understand everything you are saying, but the babies are still small right now, and Shiyun can't handle them all by herself. As for money, father-in-law, you do not need to worry. Although I do not have a job, I have some shares in the Disney Group. Every year, there are some dividends. Hearing my words, Liu Juanhao was slightly stunned, his eyes filled with curiosity. He knew of the Disney Group, of course. He had not expected this son-in-law of his to actually own shares in it. This meant that this son-in-law of his was a shareholder of the Disney Group. Then do you have a house and a car? Father-in-law, Shiyun, mother-in-law, and I came over today, driving my car. As for a house, I just bought a villa yesterday. Of course, I paid for all this with my own money. Liu Juanhao let out a soft exclamation of surprise. He felt that this son-in-law of his actually seemed quite impressive. Not only had he bought a car himself, but he had also bought a villa. In that case, his daughter being with him did not seem so unacceptable after all. Also, I plan that in a while. I will add Shiyun's name to the property deed. That villa is a villa that belongs to the two of us. And it is also a home for us and the babies. I am very glad you have this thought. Liu Shiyun looked at me and nodded in satisfaction. It seemed this son-in-law really was quite excellent. My marriage with Liu Shiyun was finally settled after meeting my father-in-law. The night before the wedding, Liu Shiyun tossed and turned, unable to sleep. She wondered if her husband was already asleep. Beside her, Chu Keqing shook her head at her behavior, then reached out and tapped my Dichio app on her phone, directly initiating a video call. Keqing, what are you doing? What if my husband is already asleep? It would not be good to wake him up. Liu Shiyun had a conflicted expression on her face. I saw you struggling, so I am helping you out. With all your hesitating even at 11 p.m. You would not dare to make the video call. Just as Liu Shiyun finished speaking, I answered the video call on my end. Wife, what is wrong? Can't sleep. My tone was very gentle as I looked at Liu Shiyun on the screen. Husband, what about you? Are you asleep yet? With you not by my side, I can't really fall asleep. But after tonight we will see each other tomorrow. And then we can be together again. Tomorrow was the day of our grand wedding. The day I would officially marry Liu Shiyun and bring her home. Through the video call, the two of us chatted for almost an hour, until Liu Shiyun started feeling sleepy. Alright, it is getting late. We have a busy day tomorrow, so you should rest early. Husband, you rest early too. Good night. Hanging up the video call, Liu Shiyun finally fell asleep, fully satisfied. Early the next morning, my dad came over and asked, Son, the escort convoy is here. Are you ready? If you are ready, we can set off. Dad, I am all set. Then I will lead the escort convoy and head out. Meanwhile, Chu Keqing opened her eyes, checked the time, and realized it was already 8:00 a.m. She sat up abruptly, and hurriedly called out to Liu Shiyun beside her. Shiyun, wake up, hurry and wake up. Ugh, stop messing around, let me sleep a bit longer. Hearing Chu Keqing's voice, Liu Shiyun mumbled groggily. She had not woken up this early in a long time and wanted to keep sleeping. Have you forgotten what day it is today? Today is your big wedding day. Lin Xingyu is probably already on his way here. Hearing Chu Keqing's words, Liu Shiyun's sleepiness vanished, and she sat bolt upright. Today is my wedding day. Keqing, what time is it? Why did not you wake me earlier? It is past 8, Chu Keqing spread her hands helplessly. I just woke up too. As soon as I checked the time, I came to wake you. Quick, get up, hurry. My husband might have already set off. Liu Shiyun scrambled up in a panic, and started looking for her clothes. Why are you putting on your everyday clothes? You are getting married today, you should be wearing your bridal gown. Also, after changing into your gown, you have to wait in the room for Lin Xingyu to come and take you downstairs. Oh, my memory. Keqing, come help me quickly. Liu Shiyun smacked her forehead and had to ask Chu Keqing for help. The makeup artist also came over to help with her makeup. On the other side, I led the convoy of 50 cars and set off. The 50 cars were essentially all luxury vehicles. There were Lamborghinis, Ferraris, Maseratis, Mercedes-Benz, and other luxury brands. As the 50 cars drove down the street, many pedestrians immediately took out their phones to take photos and record videos. Whose wedding is this? It is so extravagant, so luxurious. Which family's daughter is marrying into such wealth? Seeing so many famous luxury cars, I am seriously so envious of the bride-to-be. Shiyun, you are getting married today. Later, when your husband arrives, do you want me to go down and make things difficult for him? No, you can't make things difficult for my husband. Hearing this, Liu Shiyun got a little anxious. She certainly did not want her best friend to give me a hard time on our wedding day. Do not worry, we won't give Lin Xingyu too hard of a time. After all, he is your husband, the man you love most. It is just that. If we let him take you away too easily, how would that make us bridesmaids look? Anyway, you are not allowed to make things difficult for my husband. When my husband arrives, you invite him right up, and then let him take me away. He is here, the groom is here. At this moment, Liu Shiyun's cousin walked in from outside and announced happily. Liu Juanhao and Jing Xiujing also opened the door and went out to welcome their son-in-law. 49 cars parked outside. Only the car I was riding in drove into the residential complex. The car stopped in front of the villa, and I got out. Father-in-law, mother-in-law, I am here to pick up your daughter. Good. Zheng Jing and Liu Juanhao looked at me, the smiles on their faces never fading. Shiyun is waiting for you in her room. Come on in. You are finally here. Just as I walked through the door, Chu Kaching led a few girls and blocked my path. Mr. Groom, taking Shiyun away is not that easy. If you want to go in, you have to pass our test first. For the first challenge, please sing a song for us, cousin-in-law. Today is your wedding day, so naturally, the song must be fitting for a wedding. I thought for a moment, cleared my throat, and then with my rich, magnetic voice, I began to sing Marry Me Today. Even though this was my first time singing, my voice really sounded incredibly good. Cousin-in-law, you sing so well. To be honest, this is my first time singing. If there are any parts one did not sing well, I hope you all can be understanding. Is this really your first time singing, cousin-in-law? You actually sang so well. That means even my cousin has not heard you sing before. If my cousin finds out, will she blame us? In her room, Liu Shiyun had just seen her husband's convoy arrive through the window. So, she sat properly in her room, waiting for her husband to come up. But she waited, and her husband still had not come up, which made her a bit anxious. She wondered if Kaching and the others were giving her husband a hard time downstairs and stopping him from coming up. No, I can't let them make things difficult for my husband. With that, she opened her bedroom door and started heading downstairs. Chu Kaching and the bridesmaids were originally planning to give Own more challenge before letting me go up, but at that moment they heard footsteps. They quickly looked over and saw Liu Shiyun, dressed entirely in red bridal attire, walking down the stairs. You silly girl, what kind of bride runs downstairs by herself? Are you that eager to get married? Seeing her daughter come down, Jing did not know whether to laugh or cry. Husband, Liu Shiyun did not answer her mother, but looked at me and threw herself directly into my arms. I saw that you had not come up for so long, so I came down myself. I held Liu Shiyun tightly and said gently, I kept you waiting, wife. Then I looked toward my father-in-law and mother-in-law. Father-in-law, mother-in-law, let us head out together. All right, Jing and Liu Juanhao helped Liu Shiyun and me with the babies, and then the whole family set off together. Half an hour later, my parents saw the wedding car carrying their son and daughter-in-law arrive, and hurriedly had the MC take the stage. The MC took the microphone, stepped onto the stage, and smiled faintly. Welcome all esteemed guests to the wedding of Mr. Lin Xingyu and Ms. Liu Shiyun. Let us all welcome the arrival of the newlyweds. As soon as he spoke, everyone turned their eyes in unison. They saw me step out of the car, take Liu Shiyun's hand, and lead her out of the wedding car. Shiyun, Xingyu, you two go on inside first. My mom walked over, looking at her son and daughter-in-law with great joy. Once the wedding ceremony was completed today, her daughter-in-law would truly be a wife of the Lin family. Hey mom and dad. I smiled at the surrounding guests, then led my bride inside. To tell you the truth, I have hosted many weddings, but this groom is the most handsome Own I have ever seen. I am not exaggerating in the slightest. Tell me, is the groom handsome or not? A chorus of replies erupted from the crowd below. The groom's side was especially enthusiastic. Handsome. The groom is very handsome. Hearing the responses from the crowd, the MC continued, with such a handsome groom, the bride must be breathtakingly beautiful to match him, right? The groom's side laughed and answered, yes, she must be beautiful, even more beautiful than a fairy. A breathtaking beauty is an absolute must. For the next part of the wedding, Chu Kaching led a group of guests in reciting Tao Yao the Peach Tree, a poem from the Book of Songs, to bless and praise the bride. Listening to them recite the Book of Songs, Liu Shiyun and I felt incredibly happy. We placed the wedding rings on each other's fingers and performed the hand-holding ritual. In ancient times, it would be jade pendants, but in modern times, Shiyun and I naturally exchanged wedding rings. Finally, we performed the 3 traditional bows. First bow to heaven and earth, second bow to the parents. Husband and wife bow to each other, and the ceremony was complete. After the ceremony, Liu Shiyun and I exchanged a glance, both of our faces beaming with immense joy. Today, we were finally husband and wife. Once it was over, the waiting staff prepared the tea, and the bridesmaids handed it to the two of us. Now, it was time to offer tea to the elders and formally change our forms of address. Uncles and aunties, once you drink this tea, you are officially acknowledging the son-in-law and daughter-in-law, so think carefully. We first offered tea to the groom's parents. The two of us knelt on the cushions and said in unison, Mom, Dad, please have some tea, perhaps driven by the solemnity of the ceremony. At this moment, as we looked at the elders before us, we were both moved by emotion, our voices slightly choked. Father Lin and Mother Lin joyfully reached out to take the tea. At this moment, the MC stopped them from drinking. The MC smiled faintly. Uncle, Auntie, Are you satisfied with this daughter-in-law? My dad said in a deep voice, satisfied. Very satisfied. My mom also answered with a beaming smile. Super satisfied. Incredibly satisfied. My mom picked up the cup and drank directly. Smiling, she took out the red envelope she had prepared in advance for the change of address, and handed it to her daughter-in-law. They say that at a wedding, by looking at the reactions of the four elders, you can tell which side is marrying off a daughter, and which side is gaining a daughter-in-law. The MC asked exactly as he had done before. Are the two of you satisfied with this son-in-law? My father-in-law nodded. Abed. I am very satisfied with this son-in-law. My mother-in-law, with red eyes, said, I am also very satisfied. Seeing my daughter find a husband who treats her so well, I am genuinely happy from the bottom of my heart. After drinking the tea and giving the red envelopes for the change of address, the formal part for the four elders was done. With all these matters settled, the next step was entering the bridal chamber. Following that was the highly symbolic hair tying ceremony. The husband and wife each snipped a small lock of the other's hair, tied them together into a knot, and placed them into a silk pouch, which was handed over to the bride, Liu Shiyun, for safekeeping. Threads intertwined, their hearts bound together forever. I looked at the radiant and breathtakingly beautiful Liu Shiyun, and teased, wife, from now on, you are my wife bound by tied hair. Liu Shiyun smiled brightly, looking at me. Husband, from now on, you are also my husband bound by tied hair. Even the most beautiful story must eventually lower its curtains. The end of an old story is but the beginning of a new one.